Ibrox Park. This should be a mouth-watering tie. This should be an absolute cracker here at Ibrox this evening. It's time now to sit back and to enjoy the action. Let's look forward to this one. Can Rangers get off the mark in the Champions League? It's Rangers against Liverpool with Neil McCann, Stephen Thompson and Liam McLeod.
The scene very much set here at Ibrox as Rangers welcome Liverpool to their lair. Just over a week after that defeat at Anfield, the performance wasn't of the required levels against one of the elite sides in continental competition. But Ibrox has a bit of magic about it on nights like this, and Rangers will need that to come to the fore if they are to take anything off a side that's been in 3 Champions League finals since 2018, and most of the players involved still at the club, albeit Liverpool all changed this evening. Rangers, 3 changes from Anfield, 1 change from the weekend victory over St Mirren. Alan McGregor in goal. He was superb on Merseyside last week. You suspect he'll have to be busy again at times this evening. Tavernier, Goldson, Davis and Barisic across the back. Arfield, Jack and Lundstrom. Sakala and Kent either side of Cholak for Liverpool. Big changes from the weekend defeat to Arsenal, which was the same starting 11 that started against Rangers. Alisson is in goal still though. Gomez at right back, Konate and Van Dijk in the middle, Tsimikas on the other side, Henderson and Fabinho in the middle, Elliott and Carvalho supporting Darwin Núñez and Roberto Firmino as the front 4, if you like, for the visitors, who are on 6 points. Rangers yet to register, Rangers yet to score a goal in the Champions League. But so many big goals were scored on their run to the Europa League final last season. They will have to feel that tonight's the night that they break their duck. Even a draw's okay this evening, given Ajax's defeat in Campania earlier on in the early kick-off. 4-2 it was to Napoli. That means Napoli have qualified for the last 16. It means second place is up for grabs. Liverpool in the box seat. They play Ajax next after this one. Rangers, if they are to threaten the last 16, probably have to win this evening. A draw would be enough to potentially put pressure on Ajax for 3rd spot. The clock on the far side, the Sandy Jardine Govan stand, says 8 o'clock. UEFA normally sticklers for punctuality, and Liverpool will kick the game off. All in red, Rangers blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops. Liverpool going left to right in this first half as we watch, shooting towards Copeland Road as it's moved back the way to there to Konate, who was long to the edge of the Rangers box, where it's headed clear by Goldson, and Sakala pops it out for a Liverpool throw-in over on the far side. It is Slavko Vincic, the Slovenian, who was in charge of that Europa League final defeat for Rangers at the hands of Eintracht Frankfurt on penalties in Seville, as the ball is played all the way back into the Liverpool half. Long from Van Dijk, headed by Barisic, back into the Liverpool half, but it's picked up here by Ibrahima Konate, the Frenchman who's deputising for Joel Matip, one of the injured Liverpool players tonight, as Alisson plays it short to Van Dijk, who rolls it out of his defence, and it's picked up in the midfield by Fabio Carvalho, who rolls it out to the left-hand side to Tsimikas, who works a 1-2, gets it back to Carvalho. Firmino continues his run down that far side. It breaks back to Carvalho, who rolls it to Van Dijk, who goes long with the left foot right down the middle of the pitch there, and Darwin Núñez is going to get onto it. There's no flag at the moment, but Rangers defend it well this time, and it's cleared by Tavernier, only as far as Jordan Henderson, flicks it over the head of Arfield, who wants a free kick for the high boot. No question of a free kick coming Rangers' way, though it's Liverpool in possession with young Harvey Elliott, who starts on the steer side, and it's rolled back the way into zone half for Konate, and then into the middle there, the centre circle, where it's picked up by Fabinho, who finds Elliott, who rolls it back onto the centre spot there for Henderson. Loads of Liverpool possession in the opening 90 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, they're just playing keep ball at the minute, but the important thing is Rangers are pressing them. They're managing to press them higher up the pitch, forcing an error there, which is completely different to what we saw at Anfield. Their starting positions are already higher up in the Liverpool final third.
Elliott keeping it in play on this near side. He's given it straight to Arfield. He finds Lundstrom, the Scouser, up against the Scousers this evening, and Ryan Jack is brought crashing to the ground by Konate just inside the Liverpool half, and Jack is in pain on the deck right now, and the referee, with a wag of the finger, brings Konate up to him for a lecture. 2 goalless minutes in, Rangers free kick. The first thoughts of Neil McCann.
Yeah, my initial thought right away was that Konate got a bit of the ball. And on reflection, I think he does, Liam, but it's a follow through, I think, catches Ryan Jack. Referee maybe feels the same, that might have just given Ryan Jack the benefit of the doubt there, because had he not made connection with the ball, then it's a clear yellow card, but I think the big defender did. But like
I think he gets a bit of both, doesn't he?
Yeah, probably gets a wee bit of both, which is always makes a defender's eyes light up there. But I think Rangers' intent is certainly there. They've pressed Liverpool to death, but Liverpool are so good at working through that press. Rangers just need to be careful at the back four. When the rest of the team are pressing, stay structured, stay concentrated.
Goldson's long ball flicked forward by Sakala, but it goes out off a Liverpool head for a Rangers throw-in. Cholak thought about taking it quickly, instead he leaves it for his captain as we go into the 4th minute. Tavernier midway inside the Liverpool half on the far side. Ryan Jack's back on his feet, he's okay, as Lundstrom gets it back from Tavernier, and then Connor Goldson will roll it all the way back to his goalkeeper, and it's Alan McGregor at the edge of his own box, just playing it short to Ben Davies, who looks up, long left-footed ball. Now Ryan Kent's in behind.
Great ball.
Gomez down this left-hand side. He's got it at the byline. Kent takes a touch, looks up, waits for support to arrive in the middle, rolls it back to Barisic, controls with the undersole of the left boot and plays it short there to Lundstrom. Back out to Barisic. He turns it back to Lundstrom. The momentum's gone from this Rangers attack right now. Back with Ben Davies, up against his old club. Lundstrom's big switch of play, out to Sakala, takes a touch inside the box, drops the shoulder, scuffs a shot at goal, and Allison holds on. 4 minutes in, Rangers nil, Liverpool nil, but it's the home team threatening something they did so little of at Anfield last Tuesday evening. It's Rangers nil, Liverpool nil.
Great pick out from John Lundstrom. Sakala takes a lovely touch, comes inside, doesn't quite catch the shot, Liam, but the intent was good. Just a couple of moments ago, Ryan Kent, beautiful movement, came short, went in behind, great ball from Davis. Just go and take Gomez on, it's a first chance. 1v1, again he turns back and rolls it back to Barisic. Just go and commit him in the penalty box. I mean, you lose it, so what, it lifts this crowd.
Rangers win it back in the midfield, that was good. Here's Arfield, rolls it with the right foot out along the grass to Kent on this left-hand side. Kent now attacking the Liverpool box, Barisic arriving in the overlap. Kent chops onto the right, paints one for goal, and it's just wide. Good effort as he looked for the top right postage stamp. Almost 5 in, Rangers nil, Liverpool nil. 2 efforts on goal though from Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's team here in the infancy of this match on match day 4 in Champions League Group A.
Talk about a difference from the start of both matches, Neil, it's incredible. Ryan Kent there, this time he does cut inside onto his right foot and takes the shot on. He's really positive, really proactive. And the interesting thing for me is the starting positions of all the players are so much further up the pitch, which is allowing them the opportunity to create opportunities. Barisic we didn't see in the final third at Anfield, I don't think, until the second half in that game. He's been up there loads.
The one with Kent there, Tommy, you're right. I mean, it just proves that you can't keep me happy, because I thought, listen, if you're Cholak there, you're number 9, I'm putting that in the space right away. But fair play to him, he just decided to take someone on. Wasn't a close effort, but it was positive. That's what you need to see from Ryan Kent.
Liverpool with Tsimikas, rolls it back there to Henderson, who stabs it back into his own half for Van Dijk. Didn't ever play here as a Celtic defender. He was at Celtic for just over 2 seasons. Rangers weren't in the same division at the time. As the ball's pinged out to Tsimikas on the left, that's a brilliant ball in, just a little bit too high for Darwin, and it sails out on the opposing side, this main stand side, for a Rangers throw-in level with their own 6-yard line. 0-0, 6 played.
Yeah, it was a decent ball in. Yeah, it was a warning. Yeah, a decent ball in. Nunes just got caught a wee bit underneath it. It was probably about a foot over his head, and probably a wee bit too easy, the amount of space that Tsimikas had to take his touch and put the ball in the first place.
Little flick there by Carvalho into the Rangers box. Goldson under no pressure, rolls it out to Tavernier on the right-hand side. His pass is cut out though, and it breaks back into the midfield, and good backtracking by Ryan Jack, who slides in.
His eyes, Ryan Jack, I just spoke about the big Konate, his eyes lighting up. Ryan Jack knew he was going to take lots of the ball and get a little bite at Núñez. He didn't like it, the striker, but it was a fair challenge.
He's complaining at the referee. The Rangers in possession with Ben Davies at the edge of his own box. Short to Barisic to his left. He plays it back along his own 18-yard line. It's with Ben Davies, who hits it long with the left foot into the Liverpool half. It's won by Gomez, who came off the bench last week. Trent Alexander-Arnold unavailable this evening. Come off early against Arsenal, 3-2 defeat. As Barisic turns it back to Ben Davies. Of course, Arsenal leading the way in the Premier League this season, a point clear of Manchester City, who Liverpool play at the weekend. Jurgen Klopp's starting 11 tonight points to the importance of that game. If they don't win that one, then they really are toiling domestically. There's the long ball for Arfield, who can't keep it in play. Goes out for a throw into Liverpool on the near side. Yet 7.5 in, 0-0.
Yeah, that's the difference. That's what you get from Arfield. Identifies that Kent's coming short. He's going the same channel that Kent went a couple of moments ago and in behind Gomez. I know it before. Trent Alexander-Arnold is out the side. That's a problem area of the field for Liverpool, and it's certainly still the same, because I don't believe Gomez is an out-and-out fullback, and I think he gets caught many times of ball watching, so the space is there in behind.
18 games played by Scottish football clubs in Europe this season, just the 4 wins, 14 defeats now as well, after Celtic's loss to Leipzig last night, as Barisic rolls it back to Ben Davies. And he passes it back to Alan McGregor, who hits it long with the right foot, and it's going to sail out for a throw into Liverpool, level with the edge of the centre circle on this near side, right in front of Van Bronckhorst. Joe Gomez drying the ball. The pitch was well watered. The sprinklers beforehand. Just over 8 minutes played, no goals yet. Better from Rangers than we saw last week, as Gomez nods it back to Konate, and they were very good for an hour here against Napoli, who are running away with this group. On match day 2 before the James Sands second yellow, after Alan McGregor's penalty save dramatics. Fabinho's little header out to the far side. Winston with the challenge, but it's Liverpool who emerge with the ball. Fabinho driving forward and wins the throw-in off Goldson, just inside the Rangers half over on that left-hand side, albeit Tsimikas is going to take it a little bit further back than that. We approach 9 minutes. Rangers 0, Liverpool 0. It's with Van Dijk, former Celt, getting the boos from the Rangers supporters. It's Alisson's long clearance, offside flag, goes up against Darwin Núñez. That will be a free kick to Rangers just outside the centre circle, and Connor Goldson not happy with Carvalho, who kicked the ball away after the referee had given the free kick. That used to be a bog standard yellow card. As soon as that offence was committed, it's just a word of warning though from the Slovenian referee for the Portuguese, who comes on into the Liverpool team this evening. Long ball down that far side. Tsimikas gets onto it. It's now with Lundstrom. Rolls it out wide right here for Jack. Looks up in the box, crosses in, looking for Čolak. Headed away by Konate, and then Firmino it is who hooks it over his head in a defensive position. Goldson as well against Núñez, hooks it up high into the air. It's going to drop out for a throw. No, the ref's going to bring it back for a foul on the Rangers centre back, and Fabinho is complaining and being pushed away by Scott Arfield. Already Rangers showing their teeth tonight. They didn't do that at all last week. 10 minutes in, 0-0.
Probably lucky to get a foul. I didn't see a foul in it myself, but the difference is remarkable in terms of last week at Anfield. And a great example was that when Rangers put a ball into the Liverpool box and they headed it clear just seconds ago, it was Lundstrom who picked up the second ball. I can't remember a second ball getting won once last week.
The amount of bodies are getting forward. I mean, when that free kick was sort of taken long, that there was 5 going ahead of the ball, that was non-existent.
Long ball forward, Sakala giving chase, but it will go all the way through to Liverpool's Brazilian goalkeeper Alisson Becker, who underarm bowls it short to Konate. Forward for Elliott, surrounded by Rangers players. He goes back the way, and it's a loose ball by Konate, and then he brings down Čolak, but Liverpool will play on. There's no whistle, but Tavernier gets there ahead of Darwin.
Really good from Tavernier. Really good. Had they not tucked in there, I think Liverpool would have been right in and goal. I mean, he identified, came in from that right back position, almost played as a right centre back and mopped up lovely. The couple of moments before, I felt that Konate did catch Čolak that time, Steve. I don't know if you did, but the referee didn't quite seem to agree with me.
No goals, 11 played. Here's Joe Gomez on the right. Kent comes to meet him. Gomez rolling it back to Kanate. Dinks it forward with the right foot into the Rangers half. Killed in the chest by Ben Davies, who finds Lundstrom. Up high into the air from Lundstrom. He volleys it forward, and Gomez and Kent battling for it, both with a fistful of each other's jersey as the bouncing ball's headed forward by Henderson. Lundstrom nods it forward to Kent. Couldn't get there. It's an important touch by Fabinho. And Gomez just wrestles Čolak, little shoulder barge off the ball, and Firmino with the outside of the boot flicks it to Fabinho, who turns it to the left for Tsimikas. Left-footed long ball. Darwin controlling on the chest, up against Goldson. Brilliant defending though by Goldson. Lundstrom, long ball. Čolak in an offside position. It's well away from him though in any case. Right through to Alisson. 12 played. Rangers 0, Liverpool 0. Remember, a point required for Rangers in either this game or next week to have the chance of pipping Ajax on the final match day to third spot, if indeed that's what it's to be. That also relies on Liverpool beating Ajax next week, or in 2 weeks' time, the next match day. Rangers don't want Ajax picking anything up, and if they can get something, they could finish above Ajax on points. The head-to-head's going to be mighty difficult to overturn, given they're 4-0 down against the Dutch side. But here come Liverpool with Elliott driving forwards, a chip ball into the box. Darwin plays it across, and it's not clear on the 6-yard line by Tavernier. There's an offside flag anyway. That was a nervy moment for the Rangers supporters, though. 0-0 it remains as we approach 13 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Harvey Elliott picked the ball up in space in midfield, drove. It's very, very tight, actually.
His right kneecap is offside.
Yeah, I can't believe he didn't shoot, but Harvey Elliott drove at the Rangers defence, tried a kind of flick in between Davies and Barisic, and he felt as though Nunes was just going to pull the trigger. He tried to square it. Thankfully for Rangers, it was offside anyway. But the first moment really in the match where they've looked a real threat.
He's been a danger because he's coming from that right wing position. He's coming right inside, yeah, so he's getting the man overload in there, and he's really good at taking it in tight, close quarters. Just need to be careful of whether Barisic can squeeze in with him and then just leave Kent to combat Gomez out on this left side alone.
Encouraging signs, Neil, as well from John Lundstrom's display in these early stages of the game. Aggressive, and Goldson as well, and Tavernier's across clearing that one up, although it was offside. So yeah, encouraging all round, just in terms of application levels, aggression, contact in the first 15 minutes of the game is miles ahead of where they were at Anfield. So Ben Davies plays it short to Lundstrom, who plays it back to Goldson. Goldson looks up at the pitch, it's a long ball, he's asking a lot of Sakala.
It was offside anyway.
Yeah, it's gone out for a Liverpool throw-in over on that far side in any case. Yeah, he just strayed. I mean, it's the right idea, that switch of play and with Sakala's pace, but he's got to be looking across the line. He was probably 2 yards offside, just went a wee bit early. I'm trying to remember any time so far in this 15 minutes where Henderson's been able, Fabinho, able to get the foot in the ball, and the head up and pick passes and stroke it about like they did last week. Not once. Yeah, it's a very different game at the moment. 0-0 as Goldson controls in the halfway line. Tavernier knocks it back to Ben Davies, who finds Barisic left of the centre circle in his own half. That movement again. Lifted ball towards Kent. Kent's able to control under pressure from Gomez. Kent still has it. Elliott comes to help out his teammate, and eventually it comes off Scott Arfield via Gomez and out for a Liverpool throw-in on this near side. Rangers, remember, yet to score a goal in Champions League Group A. Just 3 clubs have gone through the entire group stage without a single goal. Deportivo La Coruña in 04, Maccabi Haifa in 09, and Dinamo Zagreb in 2016. There's that long ball, it's headed clear by Ben Davies back into the Liverpool half. Flick forward to the outside of the boot by Gomez off the left boot of Ben Davies. Up high into the air it goes. Van Dijk wins it in the jump. Rangers pick it up in the midfield with John Lundstrom, who nips it away from Carvalho back into his own half for Goldson. Side football to passing Sakala on that right hand side. Midway inside the Liverpool half. Gets it to Jack, back out to Tavernier, looks up, it's a big, long ball into the penalty area. It's going to be Ryan Kent, left-hand side of it, controls it with the right knee, rolls it back to the left angle, Barisic swings the ball in, it's a bit high, still alive for Rangers this though. Jack keeping it alive, flicks it towards goal. It's a comfortable take for Alisson. With better options, Ryan Jack. It was an awkward one for him though as it bounced around inside the Liverpool box. 16 played, Rangers 0, Liverpool 0. Tom, I know what you're going to say.
I can see you, because Ryan Kent needs to be 6, 7, 8 yards in at the back post, and then he gets a volley on that, and maybe even a back post header.
I mean, like the ball from Tavernier, you could see what he was shaping up to do, because he spotted Kent. There was an acres of space in behind Gomez on this left-hand side, and the ball in was absolutely perfect. But Ryan Kent opted to wait for it to come to him. If he'd just, as you say, 5, 6 yards entered the box more, he'd have been volleying that in the net.
Big crowd up from Liverpool. Of course, not the most arduous journey, the 4.5, 5 hours up the road, but
I beg your pardon, I did that in the other way the other night there after the game. It was tough enough, Liam.
That was a ridiculous time of day to be travelling, to be fair. As Rangers come forward, Arfield bursting it into the box, shoots, it's scored! Scott Arfield gives Rangers the lead. Their first Champions League goal of the season, as he strokes it home from the edge of the box into the bottom left corner. That could be a massive goal for Rangers this season. 17 minutes played. It is Rangers 1, Liverpool 0.
Well, I'm hoping that the Liverpool fans have got the type of journey I had last week, as I was just discussing, in the build-up to that goal, Liam. But that's why that man's in the side, because he does what other midfielders don't do here. He goes beyond, he gets into areas where it can affect the game in the final third. And I tell you what, he's got a knack of finding the back of the net when he gets a chance. It's a lovely left foot touch, and I tell you, that shot across Alisson at the far corner was brilliant. It had to be inch perfect, and it was.
It's such a good goal from Rangers. First action, and it was Tavernier nipping in and winning a ball. Then the run, as soon as that ball was won and turned over, you could see Scott Arfield taking off behind the Liverpool midfield, ran right between the Liverpool centre halves. His first touch is excellent, but the finish is superb into the bottom corner. And do you know what? It's what Rangers deserve, because they've started this match so well.
I'm telling you, they're like possessed now. Liam, this place is absolutely bouncing. I've seen Lundstrom run 10 yards there just to get another bite. This team have just been injected with enthusiasm like you wouldn't believe. And this is what I'm talking about, what this atmosphere can do if the team engage with it.
Well, Rangers win this, will be one of their finest European triumphs. I don't think there's any doubt about that, even after all of the drama in the Europa League last term. As Alan McGregor hits it long, looking for Ryan Kent, and Elliott puts it out for a Rangers throw-in. This is a troubled Liverpool team, and it's a troubled Liverpool team that's far from their first choice starting 11 out there tonight, and they are being asked a big question here by Giovanni van Bronckhorst's team, as Scott Arfield scores one of the biggest goals of his Rangers career, and he's had plenty big ones in his time at Ibrox. That was a wonderful cultured finish as well. He still had a lot to do at the edge of the box. It was an intelligent finish, great build-up play by Cholak, and it was Ryan Jack who slipped it through to Arfield, who popped up between the two centre-backs, and he's given Rangers Champions League hope as Barisic rolls it back to Goldson. On a night they need points, even a point would go down as a success. But now they've got their noses in front, they've got something to defend, and they are in the lead here in the 20th minute.
Liam, I think why we're all disappointed last week leaving Anfield, because we know that this side is capable when they take the handbrake off and play with a bit of bravery. And that's what's absolutely got them into the stage where they can score, they can affect the game. As players playing in the final third for Rangers, they're not sitting behind the ball, they're not asking Liverpool to come on top of them and then they've got to go 70 yards to affect the game. They're playing through the middle section, starting point, and they're just playing with so much enthusiasm.
Well, Scott Arfield's the man creating the noise, as James Tavernier gets a Rangers throw in midway inside Liverpool territory, short to Jack, back to Tavernier, flicks it to Jack, back to Tavernier. Rangers playing with a swagger. Tavernier's ball into the box, it's blocked by Arfield, almost came to Cholak.
That was a 3v2 for Rangers there in the box.
Well, that's the thing, yeah, when the ball comes in, Rangers have got three bodies in the box. The intensity levels from Rangers are just so high right now. Liverpool are not enjoying this.
Oh, he's down here, he's ball. Cholak plays it across the face. Nobody in blues there to tuck it into an empty net after the misunderstanding on this near side. Alisson in his defence breathed an almighty sigh of relief, because the hit and hope out to this near side looked as though it was going to be comfortable for Gomez to deal with. He played it straight to Cholak.
Big chance that.
Yeah, he gets it wrong. I mean, it's a terrible error from Gomez, but Cholak takes the initiative, sees it's going to happen, reads it, and he really did have time maybe to take a touch and try and maybe go around the goalkeeper or turn out and look for support. He tries to just nick it and gets it all wrong, but this Liverpool team are rocked.
I know you're saying it's a bit of a hopeful ball, just like this passes the play.
Here comes Elliott driving forward to the right-hand side for Darwin, looks up, low ball, cut out by Barisic. Breaks back to Darwin Nunez, wide right of the Rangers box, level with the penalty spot. Short ball for Elliott. Barisic keeps tabs on him. The left foot cross comes in. It's headed away well by Tavernier and picked up by Sakala. 21.5 played. Rangers 1, Liverpool 0 here on Champions League Sports Sound. Sakala looking for Jack, gives it away though. Henderson, who's barely touched the ball in this first half, to Fabinho. Those two have been completely overrun in the almost opening quarter of this game in Matchday 4. Here's Henderson. Short to Firmino, turns it to his left there for Carvalho, out wide left for Tsimikas. Plays it back to Firmino and infield to Fabinho, nicks it forward to the edge of the penalty area. Has a shot, wide. It's wide from Carvalho of that right hand post, low effort. The clapping comes from Jurgen Klopp down below us, but the 23rd minute of the game it remains 1-0 to Rangers.
Yeah, good play from Liverpool, wasn't it? Connor Goldson does enough just to make it uncomfortable. Alan McGregor, as cool as you like, got his angles all right.
He knows it's going wide. I mean, that's the first time they've popped it similarly to they did at Anfield in terms of the speed and the 1-2s and the movement. What are we, 22 minutes in, and we've talked about the marked difference from Rangers' performance. You've got to say from Liverpool as well. I mean, they've shown virtually nothing of what they showed in the opening 20 minutes.
Awkward one for Lundstrom. Firmino picks up, knocks it through to Darwin Nunez. Ben Davies, a little bit of a last-ditch challenge there as well.
Very
and now it's Tavernier, but he's giving it away to Fabinho. Now it's Carvalho at the edge of the penalty area. He shoots, it's deflected, and Alan McGregor can't prevent Liverpool's first corner of the evening. 23 minutes played. Rangers 1, Liverpool 0. Slack this time by Rangers. There's been a couple of passes like that just in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, it was self-inflicted. James Tavernier trying to play out, playing the ball infield, pretty straight pass, got cut out, and they brought upon a bit of danger. But Liam, you're talking about the hopeful ball into the channel. It's a ball that's worked several times in this game, and it's clearly a tactic that Rangers are trying to use.
It's going to be taken on this near side by Tsimikas, left-footed in-swinger into the Rangers box in any moment now as he waits to take the Greek. Left-footed into the near post area. It's an equaliser for Firmino. Terrible from a Rangers point of view, but Roberto Firmino heads it home unchallenged at the near post, and Rangers' lead has been wiped out by the Brazilian. 24th minute, Rangers 1, Liverpool 1. How cheap was that?
We've talked about Rangers from set pieces, especially corners. We've seen it this season on probably, this might be the 4th occasion. It's a near post corner. Firmino, Sakala's protecting the front area, and then I think is it
James Tavernier
that's on him, and really he's got to do more to affect that. The quality of the ball in is good, but you've got a protecting player there in Sakala who does nothing. The ball goes over his head. Tavernier must do more to either stop Firmino getting a header to it or win the header himself. It's far too easy.
It's a nightmare phase of play for James Tavernier.
Yeah, as he gave away possession, and then it's a corner and it's punished. Beautiful ball, we have to say. He's tried to clear that front post area. I know James Tavernier pointed at Sakala saying you should be in there. Now, if he's on a position, he either backs off and tries to get something on it, but I still think James Tavernier should be being more aggressive and going and attacking that. Firmino's strong, doesn't jump, just directs the ball into the empty net.
It's a gift after the start that Rangers have had and the positivity that they've shown to gift a goal like that away from a set play. Yes. It's very, very cheap indeed.
There's been a few of those in this European season for Rangers. And now they've got work to do at 1-1, and mentally that's going to be tough to come back from as well. But I said beforehand, a point might just be enough for them. Of course, last 16 it wouldn't be, as Arfield picks up on that far side and rolls it short to Tavernier. 25 played, and that's given away again. And now Firmino's driving forward down the throat of the pitch here. Rolls it to his left there, and then the slight challenge from Goldson. The referee's happy with the challenge, albeit Darwin Nunez is inside the box on the deck, claiming he was fouled as well. The referee stopped play, and I think they're going to review this.
It didn't look a foul to me on first contact, Neil. I don't know about you.
I thought Goldson wins it again. It's one of those ones you're getting a big chunk of the ball.
It's never a foul. I mean, he wins the ball, but then
he can't remove his leg.
It's followed through. The momentum's taken him into the ankle of Nunez, and that will be a sore one. There's no doubt about that.
There's no question. He does win the ball. His studs are showing whether that will be taken under review. I don't know, is the referee asking for this under VAR? But
again, Tavernier.
Again, yeah.
The slow pass into Lundstrom doesn't give Lundstrom a chance of getting it. It's nipped away from him. And in Liverpool on the attack, it's almost a 2v2 at that stage.
It looks like they've got away with it.
Yeah. Again,
he wins the ball.
He does win the ball, and he had to because Darwin was in and goal. But again, James Tavernier's gone through a real shaky period in the last 3 or 4 minutes. He just needs to settle down, get a couple of simple passes, find the blue jersey, just re-engage himself to the game.
You do always worry, even though he's got the ball, that the fact that the sole of the foot is so
yeah, his studs were showing. That's what I was concerned about, whether they're going to take a dim view of that.
Anyway, yeah.
He's been a little bit lenient, hasn't he, the referee? He's let 1 or 2 go so far.
27th minute, one apiece. It is here. Scott Arfield opening the scoring for Rangers, cancelled out by Roberto Firmino. The lead for Rangers lasted 7 minutes. It's a Liverpool free kick over on the far side, level with the edge of the centre circle over on the Govan stand side, and it's Fabinho's over it. Little dink from Fabinho down the left-hand touchline, looking for the run of Tsimikas, and Tavernier gets there first to put it out for a Liverpool throw-in, about level with the Rangers penalty spot. Kind of feel this is an important 5 or 10 minutes for Rangers here, having conceded the goal, psychological damage as well as damage to the scoreline. Tsimikas prepares to take this. He is, as I say, bang level with the penalty spot. Bowls it into the box for Darwin, under pressure from Goldson, rolls it back to Henderson. His pass is cut out well by Arfield. Cholak gives it straight to Henderson though. Sloppy from Rangers in the last few minutes. It's already cost them a goal. You can't do that against this standard of opponent.
That's a part of Cholak's game that needs to improve. It just bounces off him. If he can get that under control.
It's a simple one as well, Neil.
Yeah, because Arfield's just coming straight onto him. All he has to do is make sure that he doesn't give away contact of the ball, protect it. Just
he could even have taken a touch.
Yeah.
Here's Harvey Elliott. It's an intelligent chip ball through the middle, and out comes Alan McGregor to get there ahead of Carvalho. 28 played, Rangers 1, Liverpool 1. Any kind of wind in the sails for Rangers appears to have evaporated since the equaliser, maybe just before it, as McGregor gets there just ahead of Elliott and rifles it clear. Van Dijk's towering header, killed in the chest by Lundstrom, who knocks it forward to the outside of the left boot, straight to Tsimikas though, who finds Fabinho, back to the Greek left back, down the left-hand touchline for Darwin.
Yeah, Goldson's all over him tonight, isn't he?
He
is absolutely all over him. He's followed him on every single occasion, having a couple of bites, just making sure that he's aware that he's there this time.
They can't rely on their goalkeeper bailing them out against Darwin Núñez to the extent he did last week in Anfield, as Kanate knocks it back the way to Gomez, who finds Elliott, who's popped up in a central area, just skirting the centre circle as he rolls it along the deck back to Van Dijk, and now it's with Elliott, who finds Henderson. 30th minute, approaching the half hour, 1-1. Here's Firmino. Rolls it out wide right for Joe Gomez, under pressure from Barisic, into the midfield for Elliott, to Firmino. Firmino faced by Lundstrom, plays it forward, flicking over the outside of the boot again, breaking the ball, goes Carvalho's way, left-hand side of the box, he rolls it. Tsimikas with a cross, headed away by Ben Davies on the 6-yard line. The chest from Fabinho to Tsimikas, back to Fabinho, is he going to be able to keep it in play? No, he hasn't. It's going to be a goal kick to Rangers. He's put it into the side net anyway. Rangers 1, Liverpool 1. Kind of feel Rangers just need to reset themselves at the moment here, because it's been a difficult 10-minute period.
It has been a bit. I mean, I think after the start they made, which was so impressive, and Liverpool were no doubt caught with that, and they were struggling in that period. They have grown into the game, and you would expect a team of their quality to grow into the game, and once the game's settled down, which it has now a wee bit, they're starting to get a bit more confidence.
Rangers giving it away again. It's Henderson forward onto the halfway line. Elliott gets it back from Firmino. Ben Davies gets there ahead of Darwin though, and plays it all the way back to his goalkeeper. Rangers conceding in Europe again, and that wasn't an act of genius that opened them up. And Roberto Firmino heading home his first Champions League goal of the season though, the 7th of the campaign all told, and his 21st Champions League goal all told as well.
He'll not get many easier ones, Liam, because it was such a good cross. It's a good corner kick, clears the post area, but I mean, he's just a little glancing header, so cheap if you're looking at it from a Rangers perspective. Giving away possession, conceding the corner, and then just to go away and not make any contact. James Tavernier will be absolutely sick about that.
31 minutes played now, 1-1. It's now back with Goldson. Little lull in proceedings out there, perhaps not a bad thing from a Rangers point of view. Jurgen Klopp is down there, he's not happy with something. Giovanni van Bronckhorst pointing and chuntering away to his players. The long ball to Sakala, Steve Hades, the Rangers winger, and it was out for a Liverpool throw-in over on that far side. But Tsimikas will take. You'll be feeling the heat now with Andy Robertson back on the Liverpool bench this evening.
Yeah, you'd imagine once Robertson's fully fit, he'll find himself back in that team, no problem.
He's one of Klopp's go-tos, that's for sure. I'm sure we'll see him at some point tonight, though, given this is his home city as well. As the flick forward is cleared by Ben Davies back into the Liverpool half. Van Dijk gets his head to it, helped on its way by Elliott. When the ball settles, it settles with Lundstrom, though. Good footwork by John Lundstrom, drags it back, and a little back heel to Tavernier out wide right. And he goes back to Goldson, he goes back to Alan McGregor, who'll play it first time with the right foot out to Barisic on this left-hand side. 32 played at 1-1. It's Borna Barisic.
He does it all the time, it's so frustrating. The crowd
It's going back the way rather than forward.
Harvey Elliott's playing right inside the pitch. In fact, he was dictating the play over in Liverpool's left wing there. When Barisic gets it, he's still got time, Harvey Elliott, to get across to his own position, and then Barisic just turns back. That's where the game's open.
He's done it again.
He has.
And that time, Scott Arfield had made the channel run. You know, there's something in his head that says, I don't want to be the one that gives the ball away. There's no risk reward with Barisic, because...
But it's what, 4 times already in the channel? I don't understand.
I know. Well, that was when Rangers were on top and they were winning 1-0. When there's a wee edge to the game, he seems to just take the easy.
Better from Rangers. Ryan Jack whips it forward. Kent can't get there. First Gomez does, but it's at the expense of a Rangers corner. 33rd minute of the game, and Rangers have their first corner of the game, one apiece.
Again, Liam, love to see Kent in there. I mean, if the fullback can be there, the winger can be there.
12 to the break. Barisic comes out to offer himself either a short option or he'll probably take the corner. He generally does from this side of the pitch. He's just having a word with Kent about what to do. Rangers have a group of players just to the right-hand side of the penalty spot. Davis and Goldson among them. It's taken short to Barisic, who puts it into the box. Flick to the edge of the area, and the clearance completed by Carvalho. Here's Tavernier. Scoops it with the right foot out to the right-hand side of the box. Good take there by Lundstrom into the area. Gets the cross in, but Liverpool have Jordan Henderson to clear. Here's Kent, who picks up wide in the left, level with the 18-yard line. Short to Barisic, level with the 6. Crosses in, good ball, but it just skips off the head of Cholak. Breaks to Sakala, still alive for Rangers. Sakala gets it from Arfield. Down that right-hand side, he's had it nicked off and by Darwin Nunez. Down goes Sakala, no free kick. Liverpool play themselves out of trouble, and it's cleared by Fabinho before Tavernier wins it back for Rangers and finds Goldson. It's 1-1, 11 to the break. Here is Ben Davies inside the centre circle, and he rolls it to Barisic on this near side. Barisic this time, well, I thought he was going to go forward, but he's passed it back again to Ben Davies, who finds Lundstrom in the centre circle. Here's Goldson, walking pace. Rangers have got a semblance of control and proceedings back again. Goldson pings it out to Kent, he's onside, rolls it towards Jack on the underlap there, and then Konate's challenge. The ref's happy with it, and it was behind off Jack last for a Liverpool goal kick.
Don't know if there is contact. I think Ryan Jack just overruns it slightly. Nah, he's tried to buy the free kick, and the ref, it's actually very good refereeing. But I mean, going back to the 2 occasions there to add to the one earlier, when the ball comes in from the wide area, Kent is such a feature of his play, and it's something that's been talked about previously. He doesn't do enough to get in, and that's probably why he doesn't score as many goals. And I think you've talked about it previously, Neil, that you maybe got about 4 a season just coming in at the back post and being in an area.
Throw in Liverpool. Joe Gomez takes it up this right-hand touchline as Liverpool go left to right in the first half. Breaks Firmino's way, it's Liverpool goal scorer, and he forces it infield to Carvalho. It's not a great ball, goes straight to Ben Davies, but Carvalho's all over him, and Davies on the slide goes back to his goalkeeper. He was under serious duress there. Long ball from McGregor, towering header again by Van Dijk, straight to Lundstrom, who rolls it to Tavernier to the right-hand side. Tavernier finds Fashion Sakala, midway inside Liverpool's half.
Look at the difference
as well there, up against Tsimikas. He protests his innocence, but Rangers have a free kick over on the touchline on the far side.
By the way, Sakala's got two there, and he doesn't care. He's still taking them on. Just love that. I mean, he gets a free kick because he's knocked it past him. He's going to test him for pace. Draws the foul. I mean, it's not a difficult thing to do. It's just try and burn the grass.
Rangers free kick over on the far side. Tavernier eyeing up the Liverpool penalty area. Massive group of players in the 18. In comes the cross from the free kick. It's only half clear. Ben Davies tries to keep it alive. Rolls it back to Jack. Offside flag was up on the far side, and that will end Rangers' hopes for now. It stays 1-1. 36.5 minutes on the clock here. Champions League Sports Sound and BBC Radio Scotland 810 medium wave, on digital, online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland, and on BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker. 37th minute of the game, and it is 1 apiece. But it's been a good few minutes for Rangers. Been better.
Yeah, it has. I mean, they had that spell after Liverpool scored, obviously just before that as well, and probably for a 10-minute period they were looking a bit rocked. They were being more defensive in the set-up, but this last 5 minutes has been really positive.
Yeah, and Konate judged to have been fouled by Cholak down below us. Free kick Liverpool, which Konate takes quickly. He was a little bit fortunate perhaps there, because he was getting himself into trouble. Little dummy Firmino. Now down the left goes Tsimikas. Short ball up the line. The challenge from Tavernier as it bounces off Carvalho and out for a Rangers throw-in. Tavernier takes it quickly, looking for Sakala. It's the first touch onto it, but it breaks Fabinho's way. Sakala trying to win it back. Fabinho, cool though, normally is. Goes all the way back to Alisson. He finds Van Dijk and goes back to his goalkeeper. Alisson, short ball to Henderson. Jordan Henderson with a switch of play out to Gomez. Did that so well, but Gomez has given it straight to Arfield, who finds Jack. Jack's under pressure, and well won back by Carvalho. Jack wanted too long on it. Here's Henderson. Out to the left for Darwin Núñez. He can only hit it up the line because it was heading out for a throw-in, and it will be a Rangers ball. I think Darwin was offside as well. Free kick to Rangers midway inside their own half. It's 1:38 played. They've got to keep attacking Joe Gomez.
He's not looking
like
comfortable.
A serious weak link down here.
He's not looking comfortable at all. That's why, as Neil says, whenever Ryan Kent does get the ball and they'll not manage to get it to him in this last wee period, he's got to just face him up and take him on. That's him had about 3 separate misplaced passes. He does not look comfortable at all.
Borna Barisic passing it forward to Arfield on the near side, trying to get away from Henderson, but gives it straight to Joe Gomez, who drives forward. Now he finds Elliott on the touchline. Short ball for Gomez, level with the 18-yard line, he's then level with the 6, right-footed, cross ball comes in, flicked away by Ben Davies, only as far as Fabinho. Fabinho looks up at the box, plays it short to Elliott, delicate little ball forwards cut out, and Arfield gets it clear. 39th minute, 1-1. Here's Virgil van Dijk over on that left-hand side. Low ball forward to Firmino. Firmino gets away from Tavernier, playing it short to Carvalho, shows too much of it to Jack, but it breaks back Elliott's way. Liverpool in possession with Fabinho, level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box. Short to Henderson, to Fabinho, rolls it back to Konate at the edge of the centre circle. To the right for Gomez. Pressure here from Liverpool, they're being patient at it as well. 6 to the half-time interval. And the scoring at 1-1 as Konate elects to go back to his keeper, who's at the midway point of his own half, under no pressure. Short to the halfway line for Van Dijk. And then one back by Lundstrom, he can slip it through to Cholak. Ryan Kent's away in the left. Antonio Cholak looks up at the box. Can he get the pass right? No, he can't. And it goes horribly wrong. And it goes out of play for a throw-in on this near side. And it stays Rangers 1, Liverpool 1, with just over 5 minutes until half-time. They were 2-on-1 at one point there.
Yeah, brilliant from Lundstrom there. I can see what he's trying to do, trying to hit that space. I mean, it was a difficult one because he's coming under pressure, which meant we would have had to roll back and look for support from within the middle of the pitch. But I think he tries to play the early ball, and you can see he's had to fizz it. Kent's never going to get there.
Elliott playing it forward into the Rangers half. We are now into the final 5 minutes of the first half. The scoring tied at 1-1. Remember earlier it was Napoli 4, Ajax 2 in the Diego Armando Maradona. As the long ball for Rangers finds Kent down in the left. Great take by Kent up against Gomez, attacking the Liverpool box. Kent head down, chops back onto the right. Blocked there by Konate. It's a Rangers corner. Better from Ryan Kent this time.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think you probably want him to take him on the outside and get to the byline and try and fizz something across when anything can happen. He chopped when it looked as though he could have done that, chops back onto his right foot, tries to get a shot away, deflects for the corner. But the important thing was, as much as it was a bit of a counter-attack, when he did chop, or when he looked up, there was 3 Rangers players in the box yet again, so the intent is there.
Barisic out swinging corner from the main stand side, left-footed, and it comes, just couldn't find Goldson, knocked away by Kanate, and Elliott plays it out to this near side. Barisic decides to keep it in play, rolls it down the line to Ryan Kent. Again, he shuffles back onto the right foot, which he likes to do. Back to Tavernier. Tavernier goes back onto halfway for Ben Davis. Rolls it back to his captain. Davis out to Tavernier, who plays it out to Sakala, who fancies his chance against Tsimikas. He's away from him. Right-hand side, won't go back! Oh, it's blocked! It's blocked there on the 6-yard line. And Liverpool clear. I'm not sure if it was Tavernier who got the final touch onto that before the Liverpool defender got on the road. It stays Rangers 1, Liverpool 1, and Connor Goldson's gone down with a problem with his left leg.
Looks like a thigh strain to me.
Yeah, I think it was Tavernier, Liam, but Fashion Sakala just burns away from Tsimikas, and that's a brilliant little cut.
That's Arfield,
yeah.
It's an easier chance than the one he scores.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Sakala particularly meant to pick it. I don't know whether he kind of mishit the cross or not, but I mean, the actual first part of the move from him was superb, facing up the defender, Tsimikas.
I think Connor Goldson's finished here, you know.
I think his thigh's gone, yeah.
I think he's played it with his right, he's overstretching with the left, and he pulled up very, very quickly. That's a major, major concern.
A massive blow.
You're right, Neil, because he has been so much on Núñez, and I was fascinated with Núñez last week down at Anfield in terms of his movement, but he has not had a second to breathe.
Is it keeping up with Darwin Núñez that's causing the problem for Goldson here?
I don't know. I mean, he was under pressure there. He was under pressure. Núñez was really forcing him and pressing him, and
if you're not used to scampering around quite so badly against someone, and you're using maybe a muscle, or you know, that's not used to that kind of.
I don't know, Liam, but I mean, I think what I do know is that if he has to go off the pitch, then it's a huge blow to Rangers. I mean,
it's savage. It's savage.
Looking at the bench, I mean, I don't know whether it be James Sands or Leon King that might come on.
Well, you would think Leon King would be the.
Or whether or not he would think about putting Lundstrom back and bringing on.
Just seen a
replay. Replay has the concern that there's no one near it. It's not a contact injury. It's clearly an overstretch. It's not going to be cramped, Liam. I know you're saying it. He's maybe having to use muscles to run around, but I don't think it's anything to do with that, to be honest. I think it's just a little bit of an overstretch. It's taking all the load.
Leon King, I think it is. Sands is making his way, but it looks King's getting the tracky top off, so.
I can't remember many games that Goldson's been at this Rangers side in the last how many seasons.
Count it in one hand.
Yeah, so we're not just talking about tonight here. If that's a muscle injury, which it looks like it is, that could be a real concern for Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. He's such a big player for the club.
He's already without John Sutton and Philip Hollander, of course, as far as central defensive options are concerned, and Connor Goldson is coming off his. Yeah, I mean, he had his head in his hands there just as he was forced off.
You could see his face, he grimaced as soon as it happened, but I mean, it's not just a blow in terms of the rest of this match right before half-time. It's a blow if he's out for a prolonged period of time. It just depends, you know, how bad, if it is a tear, the tear is in his
What are they looking at then, in that case?
It depends, it really does depend what. You want me to go into the specifics, how bad a
how long
tear?
Out?
Well, if it's a grade 1, it'll be 7 to 10 days. If it's a grade 2, it could be a month.
Yeah.
Is that about right, Neil?
I'm not getting involved in the medical issues, Tom, but we've probably had enough thigh strains and little tears to know that it's not going to be a quick turnaround if you've had to come off 45 minutes into a game with something which looks like an overstretch. That's a real concern.
He's off, King's on, final minute of the first half, and there will be a minute or two added on at the end because of that injury. Primarily, can't remember too many other stoppages in the game as Liverpool play the ball back to Alan McGregor, and we're about to go into the stoppage time period, which we will find out in just a moment. The Slovenian fourth official has the board in his hands. Right now it's 1-1 and 3 minutes have been added on at the end here of this first half at Ibrox. One apiece. Long ball forward, Van Dijk wins the header, and then Leon King gets his first touch, he heads it forward. Gomez comes off his head, but Ryan Jack's done well, but the referee doesn't like the challenge. And that's going to be a Liverpool free kick midway inside their own half, just right of centre. Rangers 1, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, he likes to get stuck in, does Ryan Jack. I think on that occasion they were both going for the ball, him and Fabinho. I wonder if he just caught, right in front of the referee, just caught a wee bit of Fabinho's boot. Fabinho making the most of it, of course.
Fabinho rolling it into the Rangers half. Firmino under pressure from Lundstrom goes back to Henderson, and now it's with Gomez, who's had a difficult first half, I think it's fair to say, but he works the 1-2 with Elliott bursting forward. Good play by Gomez this time. Now it's Firmino, finds Carvalho under pressure from Lundstrom. He's got support to his right from Elliott. That's where it goes, at the right angle of the box. Elliott with the left boot back to Henderson. The Liverpool captain squares it for Fabinho. Out wide left for Tsimikas. Level with the penalty spot. It's the cross in, too close to McGregor, and it stays Rangers 1, Liverpool 1 after 1 minute of the 3 that were added on in stoppage time at the end of the first half.
Decent play from Liverpool, moving the ball from right to left. When the cross comes in, nobody has made that front post run. Nunez had checked out at the penalty spot, and Firmino just stayed central of the goal posts. What they needed is somebody gambling across that front post. Alan McGregor collecting it comfortably.
Long ball for Rangers. Cholak holding off Kanate. He manages to get a head onto it, and Henderson sweeps it clear. King onto the chest. He's looking for Tavernier, but it's gone straight to Carvalho. Rolls it to his left for Darwin Nunez. Firmino and Elliott both making their way into the box. A delicate chip ball looking for Elliott. Just overhit though, and it goes behind for a Rangers goal kick. Klopp applauds, but it stays 1-1 as we approach the final minute of the 3 in injury time.
Yeah, they were lucky there. I think Leon King actually was trying to take a touch in his chest for himself, and it came off of him, just rebounded off his chest and played in for Firmino. And then Nunez himself, he felt he was going to go and just take him on 1v1. When he did choose to put the cross in, you expect him at his quality to do something slightly better than he did. An overhit pass to Elliott, who'd made a decent run at the back post.
Match stats are all pretty similar, pretty level. But Rangers have had more attempts in goal than Liverpool have. 2 on target, 1 in the net from Scott Arfield. Firmino converting Liverpool's only effort on target up to press, as the visitors pick up a free kick just inside the Rangers half. Down below us,
the encouragement that Giovanni Van Bronckhorst will get if it is 1-1, Liam, is that there's areas of the pitch here that Rangers, if they get into, have absolutely opportunities there to go and score more goals, and that is a wide areas in behind both fullbacks. I think Sakala and Kent have shown that they've got the capabilities to get into open spaces and create.
half time at Ibrox. Scott Arfield had Rangers in front for 7 minutes. It was fabulous goal, it was, from Rangers. Cholak with the flick, Jack with the pass, Arfield with the finish, and that gave Rangers the lead on 17 minutes. Cancelled out though on 24. Tavernier giving the ball away. Liverpool from that mistake won a corner, which Tsimikas took and found Firmino, who planted a header at the near post, easily beating Tavernier to it. A real concern for the Rangers skipper, and there was a big concern for the manager, and in particular for centre-back Connor Goldson, who had to limp off. We barely see him miss a Rangers game. He'll miss the rest of this one. He was replaced by Leon King. Who knows how many he'll miss after this as well. Rangers have had a couple of other really good moments in the final third. Liverpool haven't threatened as they did last week, when they were constantly, it seemed, knocking on the door as they looked to break down the Rangers defence. Not so tonight. Much, much better from the home team, who have their first Champions League goal of this group stage campaign. Will they be able to register their first point or points of this Champions League campaign? We'll find out in the second half. Half time here under the lights at Ibrox Stadium. It is Rangers 1, Liverpool 1.
Rangers in the Champions League.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
What a strike! What a goal from Rangers! What a first half here at Ibrox. So much more of a contest than we witnessed 8 days ago at Anfield. Scott Arfield, a great opener on 17 minutes, but really poor defending from Rangers on 24 minutes. Allowed Roberto Firmino to get in with the equaliser. So Rangers 1, Liverpool 1. Earlier in this group it finished Napoli 4, Ajax 2. Also a full-time score from Group B. Atletico Madrid 0, Club Brugge 0. In the same group, half-time Bayer Leverkusen 0, SC Porto 1. In Group C, half-time Barcelona 1, Inter Milan 0, and also half-time Victoria Pilsen 0, Bayern Munich 4. And into Group D, Sporting 0, Marseille 2, and Spurs 3, Eintracht Frankfurt 1. So, Tom English, we wanted more of a contest tonight. We wanted a different approach from Rangers, and they come out the blocks absolutely flying tonight.
Yeah, I think the different team. Actually, both of them are different teams. Rangers' intensity is excellent. Got off to a great start. The curse of the early concession strikes Liverpool again. And I think Rangers have been excellent. They've been really the edge that they've had has been top notch. They're not afraid of it. They've got plenty of aggression. Last week I felt they were fearful of Liverpool and stood off them. Tonight none of that, and the crowd is absolutely having a pivotal part in that. The goal was a brilliant goal. I think it was Tavernier robs Carvalho, and a brilliant pass from Jack into the space. And this is, beforehand, Kenny, we're talking about all of the clubs that have exposed Liverpool's weaknesses and all the space that they allow in their back four, and saying Rangers need to be good enough to do it, and they were. It's a big acreage of space through the middle of the Liverpool defence, and brilliant finish from Arfield, who's has been superb in the match. Actually, really good. Sloppy equaliser. Again, you look at this Liverpool team with all the stars that they've had. They've scored 3 goals in these tie and a half against Rangers, all set piece goals, nothing from play, penalty, free kick, corner. So it's very disappointing. Tavernier will be really angry with himself. Doesn't compete at all with Firmino. But the balance of play, Rangers look the better side.
They were disappointed, weren't they?
I don't think they'll be disappointed, because I think they're absolutely in the game. They have Liverpool rattled. Liverpool have been shaken out of any cohesion that they want to bring to it. They don't have any of it. Gomez is having a difficult time here on this side of the pitch. They don't have any control really in the middle of the park. Goldson did a fantastic job on Núñez. Big blow that he's gone off. I think there's an awful lot of positive stuff for Rangers out there.
What have been the differences tonight, Neil?
Just the application, I think, isn't it? I mean, it's just the energy. I think that their position in the field is at least 20 yards higher up, so it allows the front players to go and press. I think Colak's pressing tonight. Tomo spoke about his selflessness to the team has been exceptional, but with that, Kent's going with them, Arfield, Sakala, and because they're 20 yards higher up, it allows the midfield to get in touch with the central midfielders of Liverpool, so the front 3 players are not going, and it's getting popped through into the gap because the gaps are too big, and the central midfielders are turning around and then putting the defence on the back foot. It's been very compact. The shape has absolutely been on point, and the attitude has been really good. Guys have been at it. Lundstram looks a different player to what he was last week. I think last week might have caught him out a wee bit. He's a Liverpool boy, and I think it started poorly for them, and he never quite got to grips with it. There's an aggression about his game tonight, along with Jack, and as Tom rightly says, I think Arfield has had a really good game. These wide positions, I've counted at least 5 times Rangers have gone in behind Gomez, and 5 times they've got joy. Now, it might not be a direct cross into goal, it might be just Gomez panicking, playing it to Kanate there, a centre-back, and he's slashed at it, and they've gone picked the seconds up from there. It is clearly an area that Rangers must keep hitting. But I say it again, and it sounds like I'm battering them all the time. I don't mean to, but Ryan Kent can have so much more influence. And we're only saying it is because we're begging for it to happen. We want to see the boy do well. We're not hoping that he has a shocker or get him off someone else on. We want to see him get into the back post. We want to see him take Gomez on 1v1, because that guy's asking to be taken on. And he should be doing it. Barisic get higher up the game. But the reason why the manager won't be disheartened is because they are absolutely right in this game. As Tom says, 3 set pieces against this quality Liverpool side. I mean, it's not good enough, because that's basics. I know it's a penalty, is one of them, but the ball in from Tsimikas was on point. But so much of the game has been so positive for Rangers.
The Rangers' goal is their improvement in microcosm compared to last week. It's the alertness and the aggression of Tavernier to get there quick and aggressively and ransack Carvalho. I think it's a little layoff from Colak, is it? Yep. To Jack. And quick, it's snappy, it's accurate. And through the gap goes Arfield, and it's a brilliant finish. So all of those things, the alertness, the aggression, and the clinical side, all of them, we didn't see sight or sound of those at Anfield. So that little moment there showed you the vast difference in performance.
Yeah, I mean, the runs from Arfield, Tom, we've spoken about that a lot. What he offers to this side, he just breaks the lines. And you mentioned it was actually a very, very difficult finish, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, the run makes it, obviously, and the interesting thing about the run that he makes, it's the timing of it is obviously impeccable, but as soon as the ball's turned over, as soon as he sees Tavernier win the ball back, from Liverpool's point of view, he's the wrong side of their midfield, and he just takes off. And it's something that I don't think anybody else in this Rangers squad offers, and it's something that's such a massive weapon for Rangers to have that midfield runner. The first touch he takes really sets it for him, because he takes a magnificent first touch on his left foot that opens it up on his right. He's still got a lot to do. He's still about 17-18 yards out when he actually makes connection with the ball, and he puts it right into the corner. It was a very cultured, controlled finish. You know, you'll have seen players try and put their foot through that and smash it, or he knew exactly what he was going to do. And so often you'll hear strikers talking about side footing the ball, pick a corner and side foot it into the net, and that's what he did, and it was a brilliant finish. And he has been so important, and Tom's right to single him out. I think he's been excellent in the match so far. My only concern is that Liverpool, we haven't seen anything like what they can do so far in this game, and you'd imagine in that Ibrox away changing room they're getting a rocket right now from their manager. I wouldn't be surprised, looking at their bench, the quality that they have, that if they did make a couple of substitutions at half time, given just how poor they've been in terms of what they showed us at Anfield last week. But a lot of that's down to how Rangers have approached the game, and similarly to what Liverpool did to Rangers in terms of not letting them get up the pitch and not letting them breathe. Rangers have done a bit of that, or a lot of that, to Liverpool this evening. You don't need to be a good player if you've got time and space. You don't need to be a top operator. If you've got time and space, then you should be able to make accurate passes. The movement up front, I mean, I spoke before the game how fascinated I was with Núñez. He really has struggled, but that's because he's not had the amount of players up beside him running and dragging defenders all over the place to create space for himself as well. So it's been an incredibly impressive performance from Rangers, a fantastic reaction to what we saw last week down in Liverpool. I just hope they continue and come out the second half the way they started in the first half, because this match is here for the winning. I mean, a point would be brilliant, given that they've got Ajax to play here at Ibrox, which might end up getting them the third place, which would keep them in Europe. So a point is a fantastic result, especially given the quality of the opposition. But this team are here for the taking.
Like Rangers are getting outside and behind the two Liverpool fullbacks.
Yep.
Sakala has done it and almost brought a goal for Arfield. Kent needs to do a lot more of it, because he's got a very vulnerable Joe Gomez on this side of the pitch in that first half. We were talking about it, Kent, he'd make you scream.
We sat in the studio a few times with Neil. I'm thinking that the PSV game, I think probably the Ajax game as well, and you were screaming at the telly, Neil, because you're saying get in tighter, get into that back post, and you just wonder why that isn't happening. Is that from the player? I mean, sure, the coaching staff here are pushing them to do that.
I don't know if the ball's midfield area, say we're 30 yards out from the box or the goal of Liverpool, then you can see if he wants to retain his width to create gaps. But as soon as that ball's on the other side, you have to become, especially when you're playing with one striker, you have to become the second striker. The ball's on Kent's side, Sakala becomes the second striker. If it goes over your head, you can bet your backside that the guy standing next to you is a fullback, so it becomes a foot race if it goes over your head between you and him. Or the fullback's coming, like Tavernier always does, or what Barisic may do. He's not been doing more often now, but certainly you have to be there at the back post, because if the fullback switches off and he decides to take a wee holiday or a bit of lack of concentration, you're getting a nod in, you're getting a tap in at the back post. There's been at least 3 or 4 times tonight he should have been there, and he's not for some reason, and I can't for the life of me.
It's frustrating you, isn't it?
It's making me angry, because
was that a surprise?
Because as a manager, you must be saying, you get in. Gio must look at that. The coaching staff must look at it and think, right, there's a chance for Ryan.
I mean, it's not just tonight.
I know
this
it
has been
isn't,
going on for
shown video
a
after
long
video
period of time.
Why is it not
I don't
changing?
know. I don't understand why. I don't know why it is the case. I don't know why. I'm going to change subject because I'm getting annoyed.
All right, let's change subject. Let's talk about the
But
goal.
no,
We've just seen a replay. That was shocking defending.
Sorry.
Explain. Talk about the equaliser there, because
Well, exactly, you read my mind.
Yes.
The reason why I'm going to that is because when the goal went in, I was looking at Tavernier and he's pointing down towards the floor to Sakala. Now, Sakala's in the near post area, so I was watching it there as we were talking. And the reason why I'm not making a case because he should absolutely still compete better for that header. Should get right across Firmino, because Firmino doesn't have to jump that high. It's just a redirection of the ball because he gets across the front post. But in the start of that, before Tsimikas takes a corner, Sakala is on the toes of Firmino. Now, whether Sakala's front post area, which generally if you put in front post area, it's almost in between the 6-yard box line and the goalpost, so you're almost in the middle there, okay? But it looked like his starting position was right on the toes of Firmino. Now, if he's on the toes, what happens is just before Tsimikas takes the corner kick, he starts getting drawn towards that area where you think front post area would be, in between the line and the post. He starts walking. As soon as he walked, you knew immediately, as soon as that corner was taken, that was clearing him. He wasn't making an impact to that. Had it been lower, he would have got a head on it, but as soon as it was taken, he knew. You can watch it and you think, oh no, and he turns round and then Tavernier gets done. And as soon as the ball goes in the net, Tavernier's first reaction is, you should be on my toes, which means it's more difficult for Firmino. But nonetheless, it's Tavernier's ball slack out from defence. It causes Liverpool to get an effort on goal. He had a couple of rocky moments for about a minute, didn't he?
Well, aye,
and then,
2 or 3.
Yeah, and then of course Firmino gets the equaliser, and that's a sore one.
It came from nowhere really, because you can't say, as much as Alan McGregor was imperious in that first leg, tonight he's not really had much to do in terms of making saves, and to gift Liverpool a goal like that from a set play is really, really disappointing. Yeah, I mean, if you're the screener in front of the player who's marking at the front post, you are expecting the player in front of you to do more, but you don't let Tavernier off the hook either, because he can still influence Firmino before he headers it.
I tell you, Kenny, Tomo and I are talking about it. Barisic is another 3 or 4 possession of the football out here in the left back, and see if he just takes it out his left foot and shapes it like a cross. Just shape it in behind Gomez. It's a fantastic ball. And so many times, these fans are not stupid. He's turned back, gone back to Alan McGregor or Davis, put him under pressure a wee bit actually, taking an easier pass, when actually, whether he loses possession or not, it's making the Liverpool defenders face their own goals. Rangers are getting joy with that. I'd love to see him do it more.
He's
brilliant. He's an unbelievable crosser of the ball.
Well, as you can hear, the teams are now out for the second half. The first half has been an absolute cracker. Ball possession 50-50. This has been a very, very even game. Rangers had their chances to go in at the break ahead. They opened the scoring here, but really slack defending allowed Firmino to equalise on 24 minutes. All to play for here in the second half at Ibrox. It's Rangers against Liverpool with Neil McCann, Stephen Thompson and Liam McLeod.
Rangers' 16th competitive meeting with an English club. Their record is 1-3, drawn 4, lost 8. They're 5 games without a win over a team from England since they beat Leeds United in both legs in their Champions League second round tie in 92-93. And of course that was 2-1 victories in both legs. The Lukic own goal added to by Ali McCoist in the first leg here, after Gary McAllister had opened the scoring early. Then in the second leg in Yorkshire, Mark Hateley's magnificent early goal opened the scoring. Andy Gorham was superb on the night, with Hateley's brilliant cross being headed home by McCoist, as Rangers went through in the inaugural season of the Champions League. As they kick off the second half, left to right, blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops, Liverpool all in red with white flashes. Rangers shooting towards Copeland Road, Liverpool towards the Broom Loan in this second half, in the opening seconds of it. No changes for either team at half-time. No further changes for Rangers, who were forced to bring Leon King on for an injured Connor Goldson in the first half, as Lundstrom picks up and plays it to the aforementioned King, who's in possession, and he elects to go back to his goalkeeper. Rangers up against a Liverpool team who've won just 4 of their last 11 coming into this one. Just a couple of wins in the Premier League as well. Of course, they're that Champions League hounding in Naples, which is where Rangers will go to next. Sakala brings down Tsimikas, and that'll be a free kick to Liverpool down on this near side, just inside Rangers territory. It's McGregor in goal, Tavernier, King now, Davis and Barisic across the back, Arfield the goal scorer, Jack and Lundstrom, Sakala and Kent, and Cholak. Liverpool, Allison in goal, Gomez, Kanate, Van Dijk, Tsimikas, Henderson, Fabinho, Elliott, Darwin, Firmino and Carvalho. As Liverpool pick up with Van Dijk, and he rolls it all the way back to his goalkeeper. Second minute of the second half. Virgil van Dijk looks up, left foot clip ball into the midfield, given away, straight to Barisic, he collects in the centre circle. Left footed pass is poor, blocked by Henderson, he was looking for Jack. Henderson finds Firmino, left of the centre circle. So many in this Liverpool squad of Champions League winners' medals, of course. As Carvalho picks up on this near side, the former Fulham player dancing away from Tavernier and Sakala. Finds Firmino, he finds Elliott. Elliott looks up, reversing it to the right-hand side. Gomez is inside the box, blocked by Ben Davis. And it pings out to Kent, who clears with the left foot. It's an early second half attack by the visitors as they look to turn the game on its head. It's rolled by Elliott back the way to Henderson, who moves it right to left of the centre circle for Van Dijk. Side foot ball to Firmino, plays it to Fabinho, gets it back. Firmino to the right hand side, Elliott takes the touch, looks up at the goal, his shot's blocked. There's a good block as well by Barisic, but Elliott has it, plays it short to Carvalho. The Rangers supporters trying to get their team going here, but they're under the cosh, and that's a free kick. Lundstrom with the foul on Elliott, level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box, and Liverpool have a free kick and in a very attacking position here. 1-1, 47 and a half on the clock.
They look like a different team, Neil.
Yeah, I mean, the Rangers fans are getting frustrated because of the lack of challenge when guys are driving into the box, but that's the reason where little Harvey Elliott's feet are so quick. Lundstrom dives in, thinks he can get a nip on it, and he steals it. So that challenge can't be attempted in the 18-yard box, but there's certainly a wee bit of a zip about Liverpool.
Yeah, they're moving the ball at a much quicker tempo than they were in that first half. I know we're only 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, but yeah, there's an intent about them. Yeah,
they've had a rocket. It's a Liverpool free kick then. Henderson and Tsimikas are over it. Henderson just having a word with the Greece international, who is the left peg to cause Rangers problems. It was his corner that set Roberto Firmino up for the Liverpool equaliser in the first half. The Slovenian referee just pushing the Rangers wall back a bit, keeping an eye on everything else that's going on inside the penalty area. Nervy moment for the Rangers fans this early in the second half. It will be Henderson or Tsimikas. They're both over this. The referee's happy. Tsimikas moves to the ball, left-footed, well over the bar. And it stays Rangers 1, Liverpool 1. They'll be happy with that.
Too right, they will be. I'm not sure Tsimikas will be. That was a woeful effort. Himself and Henderson standing over it for a good 40 seconds, deliberating who's going to take the free kick. On that view, and it probably should have been Henderson.
Long ball by Alan McGregor. It's one in the air by Kanate. Bounces round about the halfway line. Barisic gets his head to it. Comes off Fabinho though, and he puts it out of play for a throw-in over on that far side to Rangers, which will be taken by Barisic. 2 wins over Leeds. 2 of the 3 they've managed over English teams. The other was against Wolves in the semi-finals of the Cup Winners' Cup back in the early 1960s, where they lost to Fiorentina in the final. As Tavernier picks up, swings the ball into the Liverpool box. It's decent, breaks back towards Jack, but it's nicked away from him by Van Dijk. Lundstrom stretching out a long leg there to try and win it back. He does so, but it's straight to Henderson, and his pass goes straight to Arfield.
I tell you, they're not enjoying when little Sakala gets the ball, are they, Liverpool?
No.
I mean, he's going outside, he's going inside. His pace is really giving this Liverpool backline some real problems, you know.
Arfield wins the throw-in over on the far side. 50 on the clock. And it's 1-1. And it's Rangers with an attacking situation here. Borna Barisic with the throw-in, short to Arfield, back to Barisic. He finds Arfield again, and he rolls it back to Ben Davis just inside the Liverpool half. He moves it back into Rangers territory with Leon King under no pressure in the centre circle. Rolls it to his right for Tavernier. Long ball, Jack will chase it. Van Dijk is marshalling though, and he just flicks it out to Tsimikas. Finds Fabinho cleverly. Well,
there you go, Liam.
Right idea, but he's put it out of play. He was looking for Tsimikas.
Yeah, but just a channel ball. Van Dijk's facing his own goal, and then Rangers won possession in the football. But it's not hard just to do it. It's causing bother. If something works, keep doing it.
Yeah, Rangers giving it away though. Here's Henderson rolling it out to this near side. Darwin Núñez is onto it as he manages to shimmy it into the path of Carvalho's up against King, gets it back to Darwin, he's in the box, he tries to play it across. Brilliant challenge by Lundstrom. It is a corner, he's claiming goal kick is John Lundstrom, but it's going to be a Liverpool corner. 1-1-51 played.
Brilliant play down this left-hand side from Liverpool, it really was. Carvalho, Nunez, and his pace, actually, you don't appreciate just how quick Nunez is. He got to the byline, but the recovery run and tackle from John Lundstrom was absolutely magnificent. It really was, because he was about to flash that across the face of the six.
Tsimikas will take the corner. Outswinger with a left foot coming up here. Just in the main stand, Broomloan stand.
Look at the
corner flag.
Position.
And it comes into the box, Van Dijk's there, it's flicked away by Lundstrom, then the attempted volley by Henderson catches fresh air, but he's managed to work it back to Fabinho. Midway inside the Rangers half, angles the ball harmlessly behind for the goal kick as he was looking for Elliott on that right hand side, and it will stay Rangers 1, Liverpool 1, 52 minutes on the clock. Of course, they got first team regulars on the bench tonight. It's not a particularly familiar starting 11 for Liverpool, but they've got Thiago, Milner, Salah, Jota, Robertson all sitting waiting in reserve as Rangers clear through Ben Davies into the centre circle. It breaks to Ryan Jack, couldn't find Sakala, cut out by Tsimikas. He finds Kanate, he finds Elliott, and he finds Gomez. Right footed ball forward, cut out by Ben Davies, back to Gomez, and it is Elliott, one back by Lundstrom. The referee didn't like it though. That's going to be a free kick, fouling Carvalho. It's to the right of the centre circle for Liverpool.
Yeah, again, contact's good from John Lundstrom. It's very similar to the first half, and you think about how dominant they were popping it around, and then Rangers got a grip of it.
Yeah, here's Firmino moving forward, rolling it into Darwin Nunez, left-footed, his attempted shot blocked by Ben Davies, and it breaks back for McGregor, and on 53 minutes it stays Rangers 1, Liverpool 1.
Really good from the left centre-back, came right across the pitch with him and crossed over Leon King, which ordinarily you wouldn't want to do, but if you're going with the man all the way, like Connor Goldson did, it was a terrific piece of defending.
Alan McGregor's long ball, underneath it's Van Dijk, his header goes out for a Rangers throw-in though. Midway inside Liverpool territory, Sakala takes it quickly to Tavernier. Tavernier now moving forward, squares the ball infield to Arfield, blocked by Elliott, and it breaks kindly for Darwin, he finds Firmino, his pass cut out by Lundstrom. Breaks to Fabinho though, Fabinho for Joe Gomez, across halfway, dinks it forward for Darwin Nunez, takes a touch, shoots early, over the crossbar from the Uruguayan, and it stays Rangers 1, Liverpool 1. Rice, smile on the face of Darwin Nunez, who can't buy a goal against Rangers it seems.
No, the timing of his run's actually excellent, but his first touch just killed it, slightly behind him. He wanted to take the touch in front of him, and then he tries a speculative effort.
Awkward one for Tsimikas, he does well, took it down the long ball, and under pressure from Sakala he gets rid of it. Elliott, lovely cushion header to Joe Gomez down the right, he's got space to work into, driving forward down that right hand side is Gomez. Early ball comes in, Firmino's there, goal Liverpool! Wonderful from Liverpool! They sparked into life that time. Joe Gomez bounded down the right hand side, and he's put it on a plate for Roberto Firmino, who scores his second of the night to silence the home fans and send the Liverpool supporters into raptures on the far side. Rangers are behind again in Champions League Group A. Rangers 1, Liverpool 2.
Well, what a ball, Joe Gomez. I mean, for a striker, that's an absolute dream of a pass.
It's on a plate.
I mean, it's into an area, he's crossing it with no real picture in terms of an obvious one. He's got to bend that around Leon King, he's got to bend it in around an area where Alan McGregor can't come in. It's a lovely finish, but I tell you, 3 or 4 times already in this first half, Gomez is run off of Ryan Kent. Yeah. 3 or 4 times, and when that happened there, Kent is on absolute panic mode trying to get back, and he never gets it.
Sucked into the pass, which left a huge space down the left. Gomez hasn't had a good evening in terms of his quality in the ball, but that time you can see how quick he is. He takes the touch, and Neil's right. I mean, the quality of that cross is exceptional.
It proves that you don't need to go by anyone. If you can cross the ball into an area where defenders are going towards their own goal and strikers can run into that space in between the goalkeeper and the defensive line, it's a dream. It must be a dream for strikers.
Cholak chasing up the other end, and Kanate goes back to his goalkeeper. Allison clears it first time. That goal coming just inside the opening 10 minutes of the second half. Rangers behind in a game they led in. Here is Nunez on this near side. Back to Carvalho. Switches the play to Elliott on the right hand side. This is an important period now for Rangers. They don't want this game getting away from them. Another goal might just put it to bed. Here's Carvalho playing it short to Firmino at the right angle of the box. Back to Henderson. Henderson turns it back to the edge of the centre circle here, but Ryan Jack's down off the ball, no one near him. And that's always a concern. And Ryan Jack hasn't had his injury problems to seek in the last couple of years.
He's certainly holding the left calf, isn't he? Has he had that one previously, Neil?
I'm sure he isn't bothered with his calves, Tomo, yeah. And when you get one of those nasty little niggly injuries, they're very easy.
Calves are bad for that.
Back, yeah.
He's just plagued with it. It's an issue for Ryan Jack, and it will be an issue going forward as we see pictures of Connor Goldson, who's down below us just inside the tunnel. He's on crutches, and Ryan Jack is going to have to be replaced here as well. The medical team have just confirmed that. Stephen Davis would probably be the most obvious replacement. He was certainly out doing a warm-up. He's still doing it. I think he's got the call, hasn't he? An experienced Northern Irishman. And it will be Stephen Davis to replace Ryan Jack, and Rangers second in forced change. 57 played. Liverpool leading by 2-1. And as it stands, Rangers are going to have to get something in Naples and hope that Liverpool beat Ajax, and then they would have to beat Ajax back here right at the end of the campaign. Even if they'd lost 1-0 in Amsterdam, they might not necessarily have needed to get that extra point against Liverpool or Napoli, but because of the 4-0 hounding they got in Amsterdam, that means they have to get something tonight or in 2 weeks' time in southern Italy.
Yeah, it's a blow for Ryan Jack. That just when he's starting to get a run of games again, and he's starting to look influential, and
back in the national team as well.
Yeah, he was. That's what I was saying, and just he's getting a wee bit of a head of steam up, and another injury.
Here's Fabinho in the centre circle, plays it short to Henderson. It's moving across the halfway line and out to the right-hand side for Gomez. The Rangers players a little bit stunned, I think, as to what has been going on. A game they led in to that Arfield goal, a double from Firmino, though he's had to make do with a place amongst the subs in recent times as Firmino, generally speaking. You can see his quality, but that was all about Gomez. The deliveries from Tsimikas and Gomez may well have been Firmino who finished them, but those deliveries have been what's caused the damage. Here is Kanate short to Henderson, back now with Fabinho. Central area, dink ball looking for Firmino, headed away by Ben Davis. Picked up by Henderson, he rolls it out to Gomez on the right-hand side. Now it's with Elliott, dancing away from his man Arfield. Plays it to the right-hand side of the box. Carvalho's got 3 in red in the middle, and it comes headed away by Ben Davis on the 6-yard line. Rangers can't get a feel of the ball now.
Deep, Liam.
They're down to 10 still right now, though, with Jack off the park. Davis waiting to come on. It's out with Elliott on the far side. He's away from Barisic. Good play. Elliott, he shoots for goal. Comfortable take this time for Alan McGregor as it bounced just before him. We're in the 60th minute. Rangers 1, Liverpool 2. Rangers desperate to make this change.
Yeah, they're having to wait a wee while. You just see the quality there again of Harvey Elliott. He's so sharp. I mean, he is so sharp and so quick. All right, his shot goes straight down the barrel for Alan McGregor to save. But
yeah, and they've got a problem here again. Van Bronckhorst was wanting, I think, Alan McGregor to find touch up the pitch, but they've given it away, and now it's Carvalho moving to the edge of the box. Finds Darwin Nunez, left-hand side, right foot shot blocked by Tavernier. He manages to get it clear and out for a throw-in on this near side to Liverpool, and now the change can be made. And Liverpool have a man down just now as well as Davis comes on. They're back at their full complement. I think it's Jordan Henderson who's down.
Yeah,
it is over there.
I didn't see an incident, and the play was down at our left-hand side. I don't know if it's maybe something off the ball or he's pulled up, but doesn't look comfortable there.
It's an hour played at Ibrox. Remember earlier it was Napoli 4, Ajax 2. As we see a replay of whatever's happened to Henderson. He has been caught actually late by John Lundstrom. He was a booking away from missing the game in Naples in 2 weeks' time. Remember tomorrow night, Fiorentina against Hearts in Europa Conference League Group A. That's a 5:45 kick-off in Tuscany as Hearts look to try and inflict some damage in Fiorentina and resurrect their hopes. And it's been a pretty miserable European club season for Scottish football so far. As Tsimikas picks up on this near side, up against Sakala, who bites back. Good challenge by Sakala. It's out for a Liverpool throw-in, about level with the Rangers penalty spot on 61 minutes, just about here. 2-1 it is to the visitors. Tsimikas pulls it back the way to Carvalho. Firmino had moved into a good area in the box but didn't get the shout. He wasn't happy about it, as Van Dijk rolls it back all the way to his goalkeeper. 61 played. They're just a 1 goal down, Neil. This is a point, would represent a very good return for Rangers if they can somehow get back on terms.
Yeah, they just need to get a grip of their game again. I think they've just when conceding that goal, it's sort of, of course it's going to have a natural counterproductive effect where it's going to knock them off their stride a little bit. We just need to regroup and go back to doing the things that they were doing, that were getting joy, which is hitting channels, hitting the wide players. I think Giovanni must be thinking that he maybe needs more, in particular Ryan Kent in that wide position with Matondo, who made a good impact to the game last week, needed a bit of energy. But he needs to maybe just shake the pack up a wee bit, or the team need to go back to doing, as I said, what's getting them joy.
Arfield out wide left for Barisic, looks up, left-footed ball, looking for Kent, cut out by Gomez, who does well this time. Finds Kanate, then Henderson knocks it forward. Darwin chasing it, won back by Ben Davis, and now it's with Lundstrom on the halfway line. And he turns it infield for King. Short to Stephen Davis, back to Leon King, looks up, long ball with the right foot, out to this near side, looking for Sakala. Tsimikas gets there first and heads it out for a Rangers throw-in. Down on this near side, the Rangers right as they try and attack the goal to the right. Haven't really tested Alisson though in this second half. Have Rangers, the referees coming over here to...
It's going to VAR. No, where's he going?
I'm not sure. He's running down this near side to have a word with one of the Liverpool subs by the looks of it.
Pitch, maybe.
Well, he's talking to Thiago, who's one of the Liverpool substitutes. And they're obviously not warming up in the right place.
He's telling him to stay off the lines. I mean, the blue lines are there to keep them onto the artificial surface. I think Thiago's thinking, I want some grass, I don't want to run artificial.
Yeah, well, he complains.
Is that not the fourth official? Can he not deal with that and let the referee just get on with the game?
Depends how involved the referee wants to get, Neil. He obviously,
I suppose,
wants to rule the roost.
What, done another 60-yard run there.
Getting some steps in. Here's Ben Davis rolling it to the left for Barisic. 63 minutes played. Here is Lundstrom. Back into the centre circle for King. The Rangers Academy graduate plays it to his left for Ben Davis. Low ball forward into the Liverpool half for Arfield. Arfield does have support out there in Kent, but he can't find them. Liverpool gang up on him and win it back. It's going out for a Rangers throw-in though. 63.5 played. Rangers 1, Liverpool 2.
They've not carried that same threat this second half, Neil. And Liverpool's performance has improved from the first half, but Rangers haven't really shown that attacking intent that they did in terms of getting in behind Liverpool as they did on several occasions in that first half.
On ball from Alan McGregor. Underneath it's Van Dijk, who has time to kill it on the chest. On the left foot he rolls it back to Alisson. Clear skies above Ibrox Stadium, the moon shining down. We look to the right above the Copeland Road end that Liverpool are defending as Van Dijk launches it forward with the right boot. Darwin Núñez gives chase up against his old pal Alan McGregor, who comes out, gets there first and puts it out for a throw-in under pressure from the Uruguay international. And that will be a Liverpool throw-in, about level with the Rangers penalty spot down on this near side. 64.5 minutes played. 2-1 to Liverpool. Bowled back by Tsimikas to Fabinho, and into his own half for Van Dijk. I suppose for Rangers it's about staying in the game and trying to force the issue and hope Liverpool perhaps drop down the gears sufficiently to allow them to get a foothold in this, the foothold that they had for a big part of that first half of this game.
Yeah, I think Liverpool are about to make a triple sub, and one of them Salah, Andy Robertson maybe as well, so they're twisting. I mean, as much as the big conversation before the match was about Čolak and Morelos, you know, they've not managed to give Čolak any service tonight, have they really, in terms of creating opportunities or getting the ball into his feet in the box? He's really been kind of starved the service. It's been a kind of a disappointing night for him. I wonder whether or not Giovanni Van Bronckhorst might think about changing him for Morelos.
Salah, Thiago and Robertson are just about ready to come on. It's with Alan McGregor. Long ball, it's gone straight to Fabinho though. Stephen Davis trying to win it back, but it's picked up here by Carvalho, who finds Firmino, who finds Darwin, who scores finally against Rangers. Darwin Núñez side foots it past Alan McGregor into the bottom right corner of the net, and Rangers are staring at Champions League defeat yet again on match day 4. They were desperate to pick up something from this game, but it looks as though this is another one that's going to get away from them. And Darwin Núñez, who should have had a hat-trick in the first game at Anfield, capitalises on poor defending and rolls it home to make it Rangers 1, Liverpool 3.
What a beautiful finish. The movement from Darwin Núñez is superb. He goes across the face of Firmino, which I thought maybe he was offside, but he's not. He's just done a little Rabona into the path of Darwin, and he's just stroked it. He's passed it. I tell you what, he's had many more physical efforts on goal, but he's just steered that one beyond Alan McGregor.
Comes from Alan McGregor's kick, doesn't it? He doesn't get enough on the kick, and it's picked up immediately in the midfield by Fabinho. The pass into Firmino, and Firmino's layoff is just...
It's a joke, actually. It's a little Rabona, just kind of back heel, but the finish is beautiful. But you're right, I thought Davis had gone too early. I think he should have been playing from behind the plate. He's gone on, it's dropped into Fabinho, and he just picked up the loose ball and then passed it into Firmino. But I mean, it's a beautiful ball from Liverpool's perspective.
Well, Henderson, Tsimikas have come off, Robertson and Thiago have come on, and Darwin Núñez is coming off, so he did get his goal finally against Rangers as he's replaced by Mo Salah. And Andy Robertson on to play at Ibrox for the first time since the Scottish Cup semi-final, where he was part of a successful Dundee United team that beat Rangers here. And it's a big hug from Jurgen Klopp for Núñez, who scores his 4th of the season. And on comes Andy Robertson, the city of his birth. Played a couple of times for Queen's Park here as well, did Andy Robertson, when Rangers were in the 3rd division 10 years ago. Now he's playing at Ibrox in the Champions League, of course. And he's pretty well known, he's a Celtic fan, so he got the classic reception for anyone with a Celtic persuasion as he came onto the pitch here. It's no laughing matter for Rangers, though. They are 3-1 down now. It looks like a 4th successive defeat in Group A. 22 minutes to play, and it will be another defeat unless they can score a couple in the last 20 minutes.
You just can't see it coming, though, the way they've played in this second half. I mean, it's very different to the first half in terms of tempo, in terms of being proactive, where the starting positions are in the pitch. They're not high up. But again, you've got to say that comes down to how Liverpool have approached this second half. Clearly they have had some sort of message from the manager at half-time, who would not have accepted the first half performance, because it wasn't anywhere near Liverpool's standards, as good as Rangers were.
Here is Tavernier on this near side. Long ball with the right foot. Sakala's in behind Van Dijk. He'd even get a good touch. He can't, though. Van Dijk gets there. He's still with Sakala all over him. Sakala wins it back off him. Finds Davis. Davis has to do it himself here. Thiago can't win it back. It's Davis who finds Tavernier. Tavernier to the edge of the area. Breaks to Lundstrom. Now it's with Ben Davis. Momentum's gone from this attack for Rangers. It's out with Barisic on the left. Finds Ryan Kent. He's had a very quiet second half over on that left flank. He passes it all the way back to Ben Davis. 21 to play. 3-1 to Liverpool. Here's Arfield. First time out wide left. Barisic swings the high ball in. Čolak can't get there. It's headed away by Van Dijk, who's got the captain's armband since Jordan Henderson came off in that triple change made by Klopp. Here is King, just to the edge of the centre circle, rolls it to his left for Ben Davis, who finds Barisic on the left touchline. Rangers see more of the ball all of a sudden, but they're 2 goals behind now. It's another sore one on the way for Scottish football, following hot on the heels of the Champions League result on the other side of the city last night, as RB Leipzig eventually beat Celtic 2-0. Celtic failing to take their opportunities in another Champions League game, and Hearts are up against it when they go to Italy to play Fiorentina. There'll be full coverage of that tomorrow here on Sportsound. The European action continues, but it's been a difficult season for Scottish football in continental competition. And you do see clubs from other countries going up against big guns and getting results, so it's not impossible as Thiago knocks it through. Salah's onside. Salah's efforts blocked by Alan McGregor. Not that he knew much about it. Salah played it off, I think, the back of Alan McGregor's boot there off the heel. But Sakala gets a lovely touch, gets the head onto it, gets away from Van Dijk into the box, doesn't have the final delivery, and he goes back to Alisson, who holds on. They're claiming pass back there, even though he was on the slide, knocking it back to his goalkeeper.
There's a difference in terms of quality and the crossing. You look at the Gomez one, in the middle of the box there, Čolak's free, and all Sakala's got to do is pick him out, and the cross in, unfortunately, doesn't quite have the same quality as the Liverpool wide player.
Fabinho back to Thiago, clips it right hand side. Here's Robertson, first heel touch. Robertson, he's in the box, smashes it across, too much on it, but it's broken to Elliott, takes a touch, and then he loops it up high, and that will go behind as Robertson kept it in. No goal kick to Rangers. 3-1 to Liverpool, 71 minutes on the clock.
It's another good opening. I just felt as though Andy Robertson should have maybe had a pop there. It bounced up really nicely for him. He tried to put it into the box. Another sub coming for you, Liam.
Yeah, just having another look at that Kanate slide ball back to Alisson. Very, very close to coming off his hand at one point there, just before he touched it. Diogo Jota is going to come on for Liverpool shortly. Yeah, we've seen some good results for teams from lesser leagues, if you like. Shakhtar Donetsk with a 1-1 draw against Real Madrid. Last night, Copenhagen held Manchester City. Maccabi Haifa beat Juventus. And I think even examples of it this evening with Bruges going to Atletico Madrid and getting a 0-0. So it's not impossible for teams from out with the elite league countries, if you like, as Firmino's replaced by Diogo Jota, to get results against the big beasts of European football. 18 to play here. Rangers 1, Liverpool 3 though.
Yeah, Firmino coming off there. I mean, he's had a great match. 2 goals, an assist. You know, but that's the quality you're up against, and he's not always a first pick either for Liverpool. So it just shows you the talent they've got to choose from.
Yeah, again, there's been flashes, Stephen, that one with Sakala over the top there. There's no secret in the game plan that has worked at times for Rangers and what Liverpool have struggled with, but we've not seen it enough in this second period after such an encouraging first 45 minutes.
It was, but they've been overrun in the second half as Robertson picks up, rolls it left-footed forward for Diogo Jota. They'll play it back in field for Carvalho, wins the throw-in off Tavernier on this near side. You just wondered if they'd held on to their lead a little bit longer against a Liverpool team that's been out of sorts for pretty much the whole season, really. The lead lasted just 6 or 7 minutes, and Firmino headed Liverpool back on terms.
Certainly didn't help matters because Rangers are really on top at that point.
Oh, Alisson decides to go all Brazilian against Čolak. Fair dues, he is Brazilian. Brazil's first choice goalkeeper. The ball at his feet, he took on Čolak, and Van Dijk will leave it as it comes back towards Alisson, who holds on. 73.5 played, Rangers 1, Liverpool 3. I think Wright, Matondo and Morelos are all going to be on for Rangers in a moment.
Is that a straight swap for the full front three then, you would imagine?
Yeah, I mean, the way the group's sat right now, the scoreline doesn't really matter. If Rangers are going to lose it, as Liverpool come forward, Diogo Jota pokes it to the left-hand side of the box for Carvalho. His efforts blocked by Tavernier. And then Davis fouled by Thiago, surely. No, referee shaking his head. It's with Elliott. Drives for goal. It's just over the bar from Harvey Elliott. Goal kick, and it stays Rangers 1, Liverpool 3 on 74.
It's a fabulous effort from Harvey Elliott. I mean, it just dips a fraction too late for him over Alan McGregor's bar. A really good effort from me. He's had about 2 or 3 of those this evening from distance on his left foot.
Here come the changes for Rangers. And in fact, they're going to do it the next stop as you play. Alan McGregor gets it away. It's well done in the chest there by Kent, but the pass goes straight to Elliott for Liverpool down that right-hand side. It's moved forward towards Salah, blocked by King. Breaks Salah's way inside the box. It's Mohamed Salah. What a finish! What a finish by Salah! Number 4 arrives. Salah, arms outstretched right in front of the Liverpool supporters. That is sheer class from Salah. And Scottish football's European club competition season is going from bad to worse under the lights at Ibrox, where it is now Rangers 1, Liverpool 4.
It's a ricochet. Young King goes in with a tackle, ricochets off a Jota, and his first touch from Salah on the right boot is brilliant. Takes him inside Borna Barisic, and then it's almost a toe poke, isn't it? It just goes past Alan McGregor, whether he thinks he's maybe going square of him or not, and he just steers it on target. But it is almost so unerring. Just pokes that left boot at it, and Alan McGregor down low, he just can't quite drop the hand, can he? He should save it.
To even come up with that, to think of that in that situation at the angle he was at, I mean, you're thinking he's going to square it. Phenomenal finish, it really was.
Sakala, Cholak and Kent coming off, Matondo, Wright and Morelos coming on. But a night that started off so promisingly for Rangers is going horribly wrong here. 76 minutes played, 4 conceded against Ajax, 3 against Napoli, and now 6 in the 2 games against Liverpool, and there's still about 15 minutes to play of this one, 14 minutes now. Lundstrom picks up and finds Wright. And now it's with Morelos. Thinks he was fouled, the referee agrees. Foul by Van Dijk, free kick, Rangers level with the edge of the centre circle. We're seeing footage of many Rangers fans leaving the stadium now though. As Lundstrom picks up, you see them outside the stadium and the monitors in front of us. The long ball finds Tavernier on the near side, back up the line. Now it's King who slides in to win it back. Tavernier to Davis, now Morelos to Wright. Wright looking for Morelos, gets it back to Scott Wright, who shifts it to his left for Davis. Clip ball out wide right for Tavernier. One back though by Robertson. It's the Scotland captain coming forward, left-footed ball up to the halfway line for Diogo Jota, who plays it to Fabinho. 13 to play now, Rangers 4-1 down.
Yeah, it's been a really hard watch this second half in terms of what Rangers have offered. I think given how good they were in the opening spell of the game, to see them capitulate like this has been really disappointing.
I mean, some of the Liverpool goals have been superbly worked, of course, but they've been popping it around like they weren't managing to do in the opening 45 or so minutes.
Well, the execution in the second and third goal, fourth goal as well, Liam, you have to say, which is of a different level. I mean, top class in different manners as well. We spoke about Gomez's delivery into an area because he just knows that Firmino's bombing in there, he's going to go and attack it. The movement from Núñez just to spin around Firmino and then a little layoff was sheer audacity, and then a stroked away finish, and then Salah of course with the fourth. But the embarrassment of riches that Jurgen Klopp's got to look behind them to freshen up is just an absolute joke. And when you think about what Rangers are going to the bench and the players that Liverpool are able to bring on, the money that these guys are worth, it's just mind-boggling. So I mean, it's tough to pitch Rangers against Liverpool. But in the first 45 minutes, we're sitting here saying there's nothing in the game. Possession's the same, chances have probably put Rangers ahead, but in the second period, it just shows if you switch off the engine by 10%.
Yeah.
Against a team of this quality, you're going to be punished, and punished badly.
But what we're looking at here is if Hearts lose tomorrow, they'll be out of the Europa Conference League. As it stands, well, Rangers will now, they're 4-1 down. Rangers will be out of the Champions League. Celtic were knocked out of the Champions League last night. They could at least, potentially, and it's a tall order for them, salvage a Europa League spot. But it's been a pretty miserable week so far, and Hearts, well, they're up against and away from home to a team in Serie A tomorrow night in the Conference League. They're just a point behind Fiorentina. So whilst they wouldn't be automatically out tomorrow night, and just about so, as Liverpool come forward with Salah to the edge of the box. He goes for goal and finds it again! Mohamed Salah's turning on the style. Liverpool are turning on the style as we head towards the final 10 minutes here. Yet more ignominy being piled upon Scottish football, and by Liverpool on Rangers tonight. It is Rangers 1, Liverpool 5.
Similar ball into midfield. It comes from McGregor. This time is it Barisic that plays it in there. It's stolen, but when it goes to Salah, I mean, his composure is just obscene, really. He takes a touch right foot, he then draws, he lets Leon King run past him, he puts his studs on it, just pulls it back here just to give himself another half yard, and then he's just sort of stabbed it again past Alan McGregor. I mean, it's so casual, isn't it? It's just so easy.
It's just a different level altogether. I mean, to even think of putting it where he put it, the composure, the awareness of what's around him, the first touch, I suppose that's why he's one of the best players in the world, really. I mean, that's what you're watching.
A tough watch for Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. That Scott Arfield opener feels like a heck of a long time ago now.
Doesn't have.
5-1. Rangers need to be careful because we're getting towards record scoreline territory. The final 10 upon us here at Ibrox, with Liverpool leading by 5-1. Long ball by Robertson, plucked out of the sky by Diogo Jota. Now is Salah, who's on a hat-trick, and he's inside the box, left-footed. Oh, he's found a hat-trick! What a goal by Salah! Liverpool have 6. He's only been on the pitch for about 10 minutes, and Salah's bent that one past Alan McGregor into the left corner of the net. A humiliation here at Ibrox for the hosts. Rangers 1, Liverpool 6.
It's all just gotten a bit too easy, and Rangers, unfortunately, have pretty much thrown the towel in, leaving themselves exposed. Salah picked the ball up in far too much space, and when he takes it, he's only one thing in his mind. He's going to go onto his left foot, and he's going to curl it into the far post on the right-hand side of Alan McGregor. You've seen this goal on Match of the Day about 15-20 times over the last year or two, and executed to perfection.
Sometimes the top players in the world over the decades just seem to have more time than other players, and he just almost, it's like relaxed. It's as if he's not under any pressure whatsoever. Maybe he feels he isn't. He's been resting there, he's been sitting cool on his heels for 45 minutes, but he's come on here and just shown 3 levels of composure that is beyond anything else, I think, on the park. It really is something special coming in off that right side on that beautiful left foot. But Rangers' structure has just absolutely been blown to bits in this second half, and Liverpool have shown that they're just streets ahead in quality. When they step on the gas, when they change things up, and when Rangers don't meet that head on, it is an absolute mismatch.
That is a 7-minute hat-trick for Mohamed Salah. 82.5. This isn't finished, by the way. Here comes Elliott to the edge of the penalty area, rolls it infield. Diogo Jota to Salah, and it's cleared by King. Van Dijk for Thiago, and back to Van Dijk, who turns it out towards Robertson, cut out by Wright, who will at least clear his lines, and it goes all the way through to Alisson. 6-1 to Liverpool. Rangers' record defeat here before tonight was 5-0. It's a 5-goal deficit at the moment. So as far as deficits are concerned, it's record equaling. But they're staring at their heaviest defeat at Ibrox since the 4th of January 1915, when they lost to Airdrieonians. 5-0 here. That's the kind of territory that this is in here. One more Liverpool goal and Rangers could be staring at their all-time record home defeat, as Thiago fouls right and Rangers have a free kick on the halfway line, right of the centre circle. Rangers 1, Liverpool 6.
I mean, at half-time, you really did not see this coming at all. I don't think anybody in the stadium would have seen this coming. To be fair, that
no chance. That wasn't. I didn't think. I thought Scott Wright bought that job.
He did. No, he dived. He dived. It shouldn't have been a foul.
But it is a sore one. This is more painful than Anfield. But it could have been this type of scoreline at Anfield. Let's be honest. But nobody at half-time would have suggested that this score was coming. They really wouldn't. What's that? 15, 16 goals have conceded so far in Champions League. I mean, if anybody understands it, or didn't understand the quality, the uplifting quality when you do get to the big dining table of the Champions League, then we don't need to look any further than Rangers group, because the goals against doesn't look too pretty just now. 15
goals conceded, 24 is the most ever conceded in the Champions League group stage after 6 matches. Bate Borisov did it in 2014, Legia Warsaw in 2016. And still to go to Naples. But they're not out of contention for third, even if Liverpool scored 20 tonight.
Yeah, but they need to then go to Naples, who are possibly the best team in the group, with and try and get a result. And when you look at the goals they've conceded in the group already, then you would have to say it's nigh on impossible that that's going to happen.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so. There's Robertson for Liverpool on the near side, finding Thiago. Back to Robertson, he's done well to keep it in play. Now Carvalho moving it forward to Diogo Jota. See, the substitutes who are on aren't nearly finished their night's work. 86th minute of the game, 6-1 to Liverpool, and it's the visitor Diogo Jota who wins the corner down on this near side of Leon King. It looks like he's been completely and utterly ragdolled tonight. Rangers 1, Liverpool 6.
The heads have gone. I think they've just conceded that this game is absolutely, I mean, it's put to bed long ago, of course, but I think they just want the final whistle. They just desperate for that clock just to wind down. I think they're just hoping that Liverpool would keep the ball at the back, actually, pump it around. But unfortunately, this red machine, this red machine just wants more.
Robertson will take the outswinger with the left foot, headed away by Stephen Davis. Here's Thiago for Liverpool, first time back out to Robertson on the near side. Level with the Rangers, 86 on the clock. Robertson looking for Carvalho, finding him. Robertson, it breaks back to, up against Wright. Finds Carvalho. Carvalho now with Thiago. Now it's Salah. Cross! Chance! Save McGregor! Harvey Elliott's there though! Flags up. Elliott found the net, but the celebrations are cut short by the linesman over on the Govinstan side. And Rangers at least spared, for now, a record defeat. It's Rangers 1, Liverpool 6.
Well, I don't know how they missed the first one.
Does Jota take a touch there, Tom? I'm not sure.
The first opportunity, well, Salah's onside. Let's see when the ball comes in. No, he's onside, so it's just an absolute sitter. He goes to take a touch.
Yeah,
he goes to take a touch 2 yards from goal.
Actually, if that went to VAR, surely I'd be giving it, no? Yeah, I think it's onside. They're checking it on with VAR here, and this, I think this will be given.
Yeah, they are checking it. Well, this VAR decision could rewrite the record books. They are checking the goal. Is it a 7th for Liverpool, or does it stay at 6? Harvey Elliott's got both hands up in the air with his fingers crossed. Mo Salah's behind him as they wait. Big smiles. Perhaps they know what's coming here. The referee, all eyes are on him just now.
On the viewing that Tomo and I have just seen, I'm sure this will be given.
The Slovenian referee waiting for the word. Elliott is waiting to celebrate again. And the big screen says VAR goal check. Jurgen Klopp with a smile down below us as well. The referee still hasn't made his decision.
How long does it take to make this decision? Because it wasn't really that hard a decision to see.
Well,
this is what we've got to look forward to in a couple of weeks.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, he's given it. It's a 7th goal for Liverpool. Elliott now can celebrate as he jumps into light in front of the Liverpool supporters. Big smile from Jurgen Klopp. And Rangers now are staring at a record defeat here. Never mind in the Champions League. All told here at Ibrox, it is Rangers 1, Liverpool 7.
I'm not quite sure how long it takes somebody to make a decision like that. We get one look at that and we could see it was onside.
I know.
But yeah, this is painful. It really is painful. Could anybody here, anywhere, say there was 6 goals in this second half of Liverpool without reply? When we are sitting talking about the game at half-time, it's just absolutely unbelievable.
It's completely and utterly wiped out the 5-0 that was Rangers' previous record defeat. They did lose 8-1 to Hibernian in their Scottish Southern League game during the Second World War. They lost 6-1 to Celtic in a Glasgow Cup tie in 1888, and also 5-0 to Celtic in an Intercity League match in 1902. But the 2 league defeats to Hearts and Airdrieonians were 5-0 in 1905 and 1915. Records which have stood since then. But Liverpool lead Rangers 7-1 as Gomez fouls Morelos. And the referee goes to his pocket and books the Liverpool number 2. But in the 90th minute, it is 7-1 to Liverpool.
It's almost hard to believe when you hear it getting said by Liam, in all honesty. There's capitulating and there's capitulating, and we saw what happened with Dundee United earlier in the season over at Alkmaar, and the fallout from that. This has been quite a remarkable turnaround in the second half, and you have to say, as good as Liverpool have been, Rangers have been very, very, very poor.
Yeah, it's been an atrocious evening. Just the 1 minute of stoppage time is the one saving grace for Rangers. Liverpool unlikely now to add to the 7. That's bad enough though. Here at Ibrox, the first time Rangers ship 7 goals. Barisic with the free kick into the Liverpool box. It breaks the way of Tavernier. Twisting and turning up against Carvalho on this near side. He whips the right foot cross in. Couldn't find Matondo, and Liverpool clear through Robertson. But about half the crowd have gone, and fair play to the Rangers supporters who are still here. As Matondo picks up on that far side, driving to the byline. And he goes behind for a Rangers corner as they look for something else, some kind of consolation to reduce the arrears back to 5. And they lost 7-1 in a League Cup tie to Celtic. They lost 6-0 to Aberdeen in a Scottish Cup tie in the mid-50s. Not here at Ibrox.
There's a lot of probably angry supporters. The ones that have remained, Liam, will be surprised if they're coming to give the Rangers players a round of applause off the pitch. I think there's going to be a lot of boos when the full-time whistle goes.
That's it. There it goes. Record-breaking defeat here at Ibrox for Rangers. Klopp shakes hands with Van Bronckhorst down below us. Liverpool's class showed in the end, but it was a timid second-half performance by Rangers, who, believe it or not, were leading this game for a grand total of 7 minutes after Scott Arfield with a wonderful finish had them believing they might actually be able to challenge for that second last 16 spot, the first of which was booked by Napoli earlier this evening. Roberto Firmino with an easy header from a corner, though, cancelled out that Arfield opener on 24. It was 1-1 at the break, but then the floodgates well and truly opened in the second. Firmino got his second on 55. Darwin Núñez made it 3-1 on 66. Then it was the Salah show, the fastest hat-trick in Champions League history. A grand total of 7 minutes is all it took the substitute to score goals 4, 5 and 6, before Harvey Elliott added a 7th after a lengthy VAR delay. A real humiliating, embarrassing night for Rangers Football Club in their history, their home history. It is record-breaking territory as they applaud the supporters who are still here to witness this in all its ignominy. The Liverpool fans celebrate over there. They've taken a big leap now towards the last 16. Rangers still, believe it or not, have an opportunity to finish third in the group, but they need something in Naples now, because unless they're going to beat Ajax 5-0 here on the final match day, you can forget about Europe after the winter. A lot of soul searching will have to be done by these Rangers players now. Celtic out of the Champions League, Rangers out of the Champions League. It finished here in a humiliating Rangers 1, Liverpool 7.
Following Scotland's teams in Europe.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.